Live from the Toad Hop Network studios
in Hollywood. This is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
A place of our own without a lot of parents peering down our backs.
Radio worth watching.
And here we go.
Holy crap balls. I mean, Mark, I got to tell you, man, first of all, it's the Schmoes Know Podcast. I'm here with my good buddy, recovering from surgery, Mark Ellis. Dude, we did it.
Hi, everybody.
Marcus Early.
Good to be back here on such a special episode, Christian.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not great at math. It was never my strong suit.
No.
I did well verbally SATs. Mathematically, I kind of failed a little bit. And I'm not great at counting, but I'm pretty sure this episode is a special number. Now, you're going to have to help me out here.
100, my friend.
My
the
God.
Big 100. Holy crap. What's really funny is I was listening to an old episode that we did. I think it was the one, the Rocky podcast with Steve Renazzisi.
Yeah,
and we said,
good one.
Holy crap, we actually have 8 episodes out of this baby. I can't believe how we did it.
Uh-huh.
And 100 episodes. There's a lot of cool stuff. And for you guys out there, if you go to youtube.com, Schmoes Know right now, JTI, Josh the intern, we just put up a video that he did. He did the progression of the podcast from show 1 into show 100.
Oh, beautiful.
How it all went down and all the guests that we've had. And we've been with Toad Hop now for a year. A lot of cool stuff. And
Is it like a teary, like a sappy montage, like they played
No, it's
Green
fun.
Day's Good Riddance?
No, it's fun the way he did it. He put some really cool clips in. I mean, like it was pictures and like a voiceover that he did, but just how it all went down. And one of the moments was when we introduced our latest and the most fun co-host, Tiffany Smith.
Yeah,
Tiffany Smith, how are you?
I was waiting for like a punchline, a joke in there.
No,
To be like...
I can't. Not today. Today's going to be very sappy for all of us because listen to what we got going on. And sitting next to her is our great producer, really someone who brought the show to a new level, and that's Ken Napzok. Kenny, how you doing, bud?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. Like I said before off air, I was there for episode 3, and it's so 97 episodes later. Glad to be
Did
here.
that one air?
Yeah,
Did that one actually air?
We didn't. Yeah,
You told me
it
it
was
did.
the Star Wars one, wasn't it?
Star Wars,
If
two-parter.
you go back to on Podbean, you check out episode number 3. That's the first time Ken showed
That's
up.
when I got punked in Star Wars trivia. I was like,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
this Knapsack
Ken
guy? He
killed
doesn't
you.
know anything. And then Ken
killed
just
you.
crushed me in Star Wars trivia. And then for the 100th episode, he shows up. Somebody went to Men's Warehouse this week.
Sure
He
did.
looked fantastic.
I
picking
like
up.
the
let's
way
not-
I look.
Let's not bullshit anyway. He dressed up extra special tonight because Maria Menounos is back in studio.
Yeah.
But let's
I cannot
tell you.
confirm or deny that.
You can confirm it.
It's true. He
Let's-
also brought snacks.
Yeah, we'll talk about the blueberries later. I want a couple of things that I
so awesome and creepy.
Yeah, a couple of things that I want to tell Schmoeville about here. Here's how we're going to run this tonight. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3-hour show for you guys for the 100th episode. We're going to be talking about our favorite movies. Maria will be in here. We'll be talking about the DVD release of Adventures of Serial Buddies. That'll be fun. But listen to who's calling in tonight to tell us about their favorite movies.
Get ready on the switchboard, Susie. It's a who's who of famous people in the movie community. Christian, who we got?
It's the famous people of Schmoeville. We got Gray Drake will be calling in. Okay,
Yay.
we have Andrew Santino, the crazy hurricane Andrew Santino will be calling
God.
in.
Get
That
ready,
probably
producer.
means Finstock will be showing up.
Oh, boy.
Yes!
boy.
We have Bonnie Somerville will be calling in.
Wow.
The first ladies of Schmoeville, we have both Katherine Reitman calling in and Katie Sackhoff calling in.
Oh, they can have like a 3-way pillow fight with Tiffany.
know,
Yeah,
it's
girl
the
times.
co-hostess.
What's up?
Katie would kill both of them. And
Probably.
then we have Chris Stuckmann calling in, Jeremy Johns, El Miimbe. It is a full, stealing a word from Tiffany, stacked show.
That's right. Very
so
good.
It's going to be fun, Schmoeville. You guys will be able to call in and tell some of your favorite movies. But what we're going to do here first, we're going to have Kenny do the news as normal, talk about the news very briefly, talk a little bit about the progression of the podcast, then get into favorite movies. Kenny, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by Imperial Beer and SchmoesKnow.com, your source for movie reviews, news, and clues. Another week with Guardians of the Galaxy casting hoopla. John C. Reilly, who has successfully transitioned from skilled character actor to broad, lovable sidekick Oaf, is rumored to be the latest addition to the superhero franchise that even the most ardent of comic book nerds have trouble explaining. Riley appears to be joining the cast as Roman Day, the so-called Agent Coulson of the Guardians franchise, so look for some riveting filing of paperwork and report scenes. And it looks like Riley's boss on the Nova Corp side of things will be Glenn Close. The respected actress has reportedly been tapped to play a, quote, leadership role in the film. For our younger viewers, Glenn Close and Meryl Streep are two different people. Last week, Tom Cruise dropped out of Guy Ritchie's film adaptation of the 60s TV show The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Cruise joins George Clooney, Johnny Depp, and Ben Affleck as the other A-listers who have dropped out or passed on the project. So the production has turned to who they hope is a future A-lister Superman himself, Henry Cavill. If the deal is signed. Cavill will join Army Hammer in the movie about two agents working for the United Network Command for law enforcement, while Tom Cruise will go back to looking for a new wife to sign to a 5-year contract. After initially saying he didn't want to direct the next installment of the James Bond franchise, Skyfall director Sam Mendes reportedly back at the negotiation table to helm the picture. The sticking point all along seemed to be Mendes having a prior commitment with a stage musical version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which will launch in London and move to Broadway, and then finally onto an ice rink. Kids under 5 getting free with purchase of 1 chocolate bar. With Mendes thought to be out, a wish list of directors had surfaced, and it included Ang Lee, Shane Black, and Drive director Nicholas Winding Refn, whose name looks like an autocorrect error. Christopher Nolan was even thought to be interested at one point, but reportedly wants to wait until the next Bond actor comes in so he can start over, crossing our fingers for Michael Caine. Photos of a redesigned Optimus Prime have been released, along with 2 other unnamed Autobots set to appear in the upcoming car commercial called Transformers 4. The film will star Mark Wahlberg, Kelsey Grammer, Stanley Tucci, and some hookers. Michael Bay had trouble getting out of his trailer in time. The only major difference in this Optimus Prime from the old one is that this one doesn't have to pretend to like Shia LaBeouf. And finally, a man claiming to be the second coming of Jesus Christ has been arrested for stalking actress Jennifer Lawrence and harassing her brother in an effort to prove that he is J-Law's, quote, husband for life. The man was taken into custody in Lawrence's hometown in Kentucky, where he was trying to track down her brother after threatening him in emails and text messages. In a related story, this will be my last show for a while. My recent trip to Kentucky did not go as planned. I'm the way, the truth, and the light, Jennifer. The way, the truth, and the light. I'm Ken Napzok. Those were your Schmoes Know headlines, brought to you by Imperial Beer. For more news, head to schmoesknow.com.
You know, Kenny, you always make me laugh with the news, and I want to apologize for not having the laughs today. It was okay. You didn't bomb. It was great. No, I can't project like I normally do, so the belly laughs hurt me, and it's not worth it to make you feel good.
It's okay.
Make me feel bad.
No,
so.
I understand.
Looking out for number one here.
Yeah, and this is Ken's segment here again, because the news. The funny thing is now, before when Ken used to report, I'm like, oh, I hadn't heard that story. Because of Mark Riley, and honestly, because of schmoesknow.com, the way Riley's been updating the site, I knew all these stories. It was really fun.
I have to give Riley and Joe Ruggiero, formerly known as Shoesy Pants, credit, because I used to write my news. It took me about 3 hours to scour.
Yeah.
Now I just go to schmoesknow.com and steal from Riley.
Great.
Nice.
Good. We're going to talk about some of those stories a little later, because we've got to get kind of into this, because we're going to have our first caller here in a little bit. But let's talk real quick about the kind of this podcast, how it all started, right? Remember when because you and I
back in the days of radio.
Well, 2 years ago, because we started doing Adam Carolla in 2010, and then we were like, okay, someone told us, I guess a year later, you guys, why don't you just do your own podcast? And we're like, all right, let's check it out, let's try it.
We kind of looked at each other. We're like, I mean, look, we're really good at this. I mean, we both have really sexy golden radio voices built for this. And then we hired our buddy Cheese to come in and be our producer, which meant he would bring in his laptop, which was like a portable Univac from 1981.
Like a karaoke machine,
Yeah, and then he plugged in some mics, and occasionally it sounded pretty good. The guy did the best he could, and we had some really good guests. I believe our first guest was Katie. It was Katie.
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff, and then it went from there. Then we had an independent producer that we met, Katie, through the Adam Carolla show.
Yeah.
And then it was just kind of a progression from there, getting bigger and better, and actually to where we are now, where we're actually in a studio.
What it's so funny though too, because again, if you go back and listen to some of these shows, the tone and the vibe just changed too, and it's always fun. Like honestly too, and I always will. Katherine Reitman brought a lot to the show.
Yeah.
Like when because we brought her in for episode 20, I think it was, and we just went. She had that back and forth,
that
panache,
that pizzazz,
and
spunk.
And she knew her shit, and she knew her movies, and I think that's what worked really well. So I'm excited to hear her thoughts on her favorite movie, obviously tonight, but I also want to hear about what's been going on. I want to ask her about what happened to BID.
She had a good show called BID.
Yeah, what happened to BID?
We did their 100th anniversary, their 100th episode.
That's right. So I want to hear about that, and then we're going to talk to Katie when Katie calls in. So I would love to find out, kind of, because again, Katie is a really well-known actress. She's always been a supporter of the show, and it's really nice to have her, and we had her for co-host too. So it'd be fun to talk to her again, see what she's been up to. So we'll be talking to her.
Look, we're celebrating. It's like when your grandparents had their 50th anniversary. We may not make a lot of sense by the end of the night, but damn it, it's our night.
It's kind of like the episodes on the Cosby Show when they'd have the anniversary for his parents and they'd all sing a song.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We all got the notes on that, right? No,
yeah,
okay.
no one got the notes. But again,
Cool in the Gang to play one of the like halftime songs.
It's ladies' night.
I know. There's a ton of stuff that we're going to be talking to. I'm excited to hear everybody's favorite
movies.
Yeah, but before we do that, I want to welcome our first guest tonight calling in. And so I know it's going to be just again Schmoville's waiting. Like who's going to be first? Who are we talking?
I don't
first?
even know.
Well, I am very happy to say that our first guest was the one we were just talking about. She brought the show to another level, and that is the lovely Katee Sackhoff.
Wow. Hi, Katie.
Katie, how are you?
Hi, guys.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just watching TV, drinking vodka sodas, and memorizing dialogue.
Love it.
It all happens at the same time.
Well, Schmoville misses you terribly.
I know. I miss you guys, too. It feels very weird on Thursday night, not driving up to Hollywood.
Katie, I have a complaint. I saw you in some Western garb the other day, and I didn't get one dragon call. I watched some show you were in for like an hour. There was not one dragon noise at all. What's going on with that?
I know. I've let you down. However, if you watched me on the Nerdist the other day, there was a dragon involved, and I might have done a dragon call. I might have thought I might have made that up. I might have wanted to do one, and been sitting next to Guillermo del Toro being like, should I dragon call him for this guy?
Were you drinking
like,
vodka and soda?
Do I want him to know I'm insane, or should I let him hire me for something first and then let him know I'm insane?
Well, you handled that smooth because you guys went back and forth on trivia, and you were holding your own. So good job on that.
And look, Katie, we all knew that we were going to see other dragons after this whole thing ended, so that's fine. You do a dragon call on whatever show you want to.
Thank you. I'll fit it in somewhere at some point. I'll do a dragon call randomly.
All right, Katie. So while we have you on the phone, there's a couple things I wanted to ask you. First of all, how about this Miss Marvel thing going around?
It's pretty. Look at where you started.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
pretty fantastic.
I'm sure it blew up because one of the Schmovillians tweeted in with the idea that Katie plays Ms. Marvel, and then that
AKA
went on comic book.
Captain Marvel.
Sorry, and then that this is Tiffany saying, "Hey, idiot." So then we went. So that went on comic book movie, and then went all over the place. And have you gotten like a lot of people talking to you about this thing now?
They have. What's funny is that I think that everyone's kind of split. It's one of those things where anyone who's blonde who's ever drawn a punch is kind of in the mix.
Yeah.
As far as in the fandom world of wanting them to be in there. So I just think that it's kind of, exciting to get to a point where people actually your name actually gets mentioned and people actually know who you are.
And I think that is also because the new Riddick movie, by the way, looks awesome. And I'd say that even if you weren't on the phone.
The trailer's really, really cool. Congrats, kid.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys. It was so surreal. I was sitting in a movie theater watching Fast 6 the other day, based on your advice, actually, to go see it.
You're welcome.
I was sitting there, and this kid, 24-year-old kid with all of his buddies, was like, "Hey, are you the girl from 24?" And I was like, yeah, whatever. And so just it was very nice, and then sat there, and then all of a sudden there was a preview for Longmire, and then he and his 6 buddies turn and look down at me, and they're like, "What?" And then 2 seconds later, there's the preview for Longmire or for Riddick, and they all turn and they're like, "What?" And I was
that's funny. That's great.
I couldn't have paid the theater more money to do that.
Oh, that's great. Good for you. That's awesome. We're looking forward to seeing it. And so 2 more questions for you because we got to get to your favorite movie. But so we were going over because it's the 100th show tonight. And
yes.
And we were talking about how great it was when you came and you joined us as a podcast co-host. And so, if you can remember back from the 4 months that you were with us, do you have a favorite moment that kind of sticks out that you thought was a lot of fun? That you remember, your time in Schmoville?
I love the moment. Oh my God.
They're all great, Katie. I mean, there's no wrong answer here.
Listen, there's so many. But when Roddy Piper came in and scared the shit out of the intern.
Scared the shit, a.k.a. slapped him in the face?
Kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That was kind of awesome. I got to tell you. I'm just so proud of you guys. You guys have, from your, bathroom, literally doing podcasts.
That's true.
4 years ago to this is pretty amazing. I'm just really proud of you guys.
Well, thank you. And the fact that, honestly, we've told you this before, but you've when we had 800 subscribers, you were there helping us out, and you're well loved here. So thank you so much for everything.
Oh, well, thanks.
All right, so
And
let's
we're just getting so mushy. I love this.
It's one of those shows. Everybody, like, that's the thing. People who are calling in today that really contributed.
I know. I love it.
It's so great. So
get your Kleenex, Schmo. This is like a 3-hour Oscar death montage. We're going to make you cry.
See, now people are tweeting in some moments from Katie history. You know, you got classless whore. You have the purple cocksock. There's a dragon calls.
God.
There's all these great things. Yeah, there you go. So now let's get to favorite movies here before we let you go. So what is your favorite movie? One of your favorite movies of all time, and why?
Oh, fuck me. Really? You're going to go into that?
I told you that.
That's a hard question.
That's what I called you today. I said, make sure you have your favorite movie.
This is definitely Katie on the phone.
I didn't even listen to your message.
Nice.
I noticed you'd called and was like, fuck it, I'll just text him back. I didn't even listen to your message.
Well, she's still calling back.
So one of my favorite movies of all time, I'm going to go out and just pick a favorite that I'm sure is many people's favorite, is Alien.
Alien, that's a good one.
The first one. The one in 1979 where there's just one alien and it's like a horror movie, not the second one where it's like 900 of them.
Yes.
Okay.
It's such a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
I think that it was one of the first times that we really saw a woman kind of not only control, the entire storyline in the movie, but have an action role that, like, wasn't... they didn't try and turn her into a sex symbol. They didn't have her, like, making out with guys and, like, getting, like, banged on, like, the console or something.
On an alien.
Like, she just...
Oh, was the alien female?
Like,
I didn't know that. Katie, how old were you the first time you saw Alien? Because a lot of people, like, when they saw it when they were kids, it, like, freaked them out. It, like, scared the shit out of them.
Her dad used to show her shit all the time. Remember, she said
he
she
did. My dad was a crazy dad. He was like, my first movie I ever saw was Jaws, and I was like 6 years old. So I think I saw Alien when I was about 9.
Yeah. Okay. So you never want to go into the ocean, and you never want to go into outer space ever again.
Yeah, no, I just remember thinking, like, number one, I was scared shitless. But number two, I was like, this woman's awesome.
Right.
Like, and I actually thought it was real. Like, I was like, this is so crazy. Like it just, like, the world seemed, like, damp to me. That's what I remember the first time I saw it, was that everything just seemed, like, really damp. Mm-hmm. And I just remember, like, that's kind of a nightmare to me. Like, now everything being damp is kind of, like, really scary. So if there's, like, rain or some sort of, like, dampness in a movie, I'm like, this is going to scare the shit out of me.
Katie does not like moisture. You heard it here first.
I was unsure that she was saying damp the whole time, and I was like...
I got the call.
It's the truth. Yeah, I mean, look, Alien is absolutely, and you're absolutely right, what it did for Ripley and for the female action star. And correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, I think kind of paved the way for stars like yourself who can do these types of movies now.
100%. I just did a photo shoot, and they were like, it was kind of like a throwback to, like, science fiction and action heroes kind of in the past, and you kind of dress up as them and everything, and it was a really cool thing, but they kind of sent the list of who they wanted me to kind of, like, emulate in these things, and they were like, okay, well, Linda Hamilton and, like, Ripley, and I was like, absolutely not. I can't pretend to be these women because they did it so well that I don't even want to, like, cosplay them.
Well,
would just
who'd you end up playing?
It. Well, I can't tell you, but it was kind of fun.
Okay.
I'll let you know when it comes. It was really fun, but it was kind of one of those things where they did it so well and so perfectly at the time that I don't even want to pretend that I'm in the same realm as those women.
And it's a real photo shoot. It's not like some creep's apartment, right? It's like a real magazine we'll see one day.
Could you imagine?
Well, it's
I just did it at home. For my
MySpace.
Alien was an absolutely great pick, Katie. Thank you very much. By the way, and before we let you go, because I know you're doing a bunch of stuff tonight, do you have an idea of when you will be back in studio so I can start telling the fans, because they've been asking?
I am done shooting like August 8th.
Okay.
So I will be home after that, and I will be in studio.
Love it.
Hanging out at least once. Tiffany's doing a great job. So
I try and talk about penis sometimes.
You don't need me back.
Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna. One of the things we want to do that Q&A thing, and a lot of questions are going to come in for Tiffany as well. So we need you to be the moderator again as well. So we'll do two separate shows. That'd be great.
Yeah, and if FYI, if you guys like review Riddick poorly, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I'll never be back again. Like, I don't even care if the fans. I don't even care if the disclaimer is we had to give this a good review because of Katie. I don't even care. Has to be.
We're going to be so nervous. When Chris and I shoot that review, it's going to look like we're reading off a teleprompter.
I know. I'm like, but even though it was terrible, Katie was better than Ripley in Alien.
Katie was amazing.
Katie was acting well.
45 seconds was beautiful.
All right, what's that? Hold on. We got the wild man Josh Macuga, who I don't think you met, wants to ask something.
We met one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've met, yeah.
Okay.
Katie, you're great. I think what Alla Schmoeville wants to know is, will you participate in this celebrity dating?
I don't think she knows what it is.
Oh God.
Oh, she doesn't know. She will.
Just get a yes out of her.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll
Celebrity dating? Is that what you said?
We did celebrity. You love when we do it. Remember we started with the Alf and Tony Danza and Arnold impressions. Remember that, right?
Yes.
Now what we do is we do a celebrity dating impression game to where someone comes in, they ask questions through a dating game, and we pick celebrity names out of a hat, and act as those people. You'll have a blast with it. So you'll do it next time you're in.
So I have to actually pretend to be someone. I'm really not good at it.
No. You'd be the contestant. You'd be the one asking all the dating questions.
Okay. Do I have to sleep with people? Because that's inappropriate.
It depends on where.
That's a fielder's choice kind of thing.
It depends on where you're prepping for your next role.
Only if I win.
Okay.
All right, Katie.
Okay, perfect.
Katie, you're the best. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Katie.
We can't wait to see you again.
Thanks, guys. Have fun tonight.
All right, bye, Katie.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, well, I would like to say score one for the good team. We're talking favorite movies of all time. We already got a horror movie on the board. Put it up, guys.
Yeah, so right there. So you have Alien.
Yeah.
Alien was a good one.
Which counts as a horror, sci-fi-ish, but that's a horror film.
When I hear Alien, I don't immediately think horror. I just think like sci-fi suspense.
Well, you're wrong. But I don't know how many different ways to skin a cat here.
The first one's a horror film, absolutely. I think the second one, Aliens.
The second one is
more,
just a fun slam bag whack-a-mole. I love it.
The third one's a comedy, straight up Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. It's the third one, David Fincher too, which is crazy.
The fourth one is actually a spinoff of Homeboys in Outer Space.
I like it. I
thought it was Heathers.
So again, we had Katie call in, which is great. That's our first great call. We're going to have another one very soon to tell. I'm not going to say he or she.
You're keeping it secret.
Yeah, can we do a little maybe 5 more minutes? Is that all right, Johnny? Okay, cool. Because we're waiting for our call. Our next call is coming in. And then we have so many movies to talk about, because once we have our callers come in, everybody on the podcast
we get to talk about our favorite movies as well, too. We got some fun different ways to maneuver through that landmine.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Let's do that.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for our caller, let's start with one of our peeps here. Let's start with Josh Macuga. Josh, one of your movies that you want to talk about tonight? You have any movie that you can.
I can't do favorite moments on the podcast.
Right now, we're going to do your favorite movie.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to get to favorite. You know what? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
He's using an old Jedi mind trick,
and it worked. Do your favorite moment on the podcast while we wait for our caller.
Well, there were 2 episodes we shot in my apartment. We recorded in my
That's
apartment.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
One was a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Rowdy, and the other one was.
That was with Grace Randolph.
Grace Randolph,
right.
That's correct.
It was Macuga's debut, and I know Christian was a little nervous because, I knew we were buddies, but we didn't know how you'd perform on an hour-long podcast. And by the way, we're doing that Christmas podcast, and we're trying to get in touch with Alonzo Duralde, who's a great movie critic, and he wrote a book about Christmas movies, and he was at a mall doing Christmas shopping, and so we're trying to get in touch with the guy. It took like 15 minutes, but Macuga surfs it, man.
Yeah, we bided time. That was the last time that Mark was in my apartment. He will never set foot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then Christian's never been to my place, but yeah, we knocked out 2 podcasts in my apartment living room.
And that's before you were a permanent member of Schmoeville. So we're going to talk a lot more about that too. I want to talk to all the podcast crew to find out when they came on board and how they enjoyed it and all that stuff. But we have another caller and someone who's been a part of Schmoeville since we've been part of Toad Hop for sure. And
I wonder who this is.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's like I'm opening a present.
This is the fun part. We just had Katee Sackhoff, and I'll tell you, this member here who's on the phone. No, you don't. Is absolutely so much fun every single time that she comes on, and we always have a blast with her. And I'm talking about the one and only Rotten Tomatoes herself, Gray Drake, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yay, Schmoes, 100 episodes. And Mark, by the way, I want to be very clear. It doesn't matter to me that you're now a eunuch.
Oh, thank you, Gray. Our favorite red-haired beauty that comes in here from time to time. It is great to talk to you, Gray. How are you, babe?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I'm proud of you guys. I'm really honored to be a part of Schmoeville. You guys have the best fans in the biz. I say it all the time. Coming on the show is amazing every single time.
They love you, and we love you. And the thing, so what we're doing real quick, Gray, is we are going to ask you real quick, like if you have, from the times you've been on the show, if you've had a favorite moment on the show since you've been on, and then we're going to ask you about your favorite movie of all time, and then we will discuss that briefly. So what moment do you remember that from being a guest on the show that you enjoyed?
It's hard for me to narrow down, so I'm going to be brief because I have three. Okay. I love talking about Spider-Man with you guys and the freaking guy that shot Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Wow, what a guy he was.
Leaf Gandhort. He's a great dude. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. I geeked out on that. I loved getting to scream at Mark about those goddamn eagles in The Hobbit.
That was good. That was like, if you tuned in late, you might think that Gray and I are fighting about the Redskins and the Eagles because she was just saying how much she hated the Eagles, but that was a lot of fun.
So great. All right, so let's. That was a lot of fun, and we've had fun every time you've been on. We can't wait to have you back live in studio. So we're talking about favorite movies here. What movie was one of your favorites of all time that you would like to discuss tonight?
And defend your choice, good woman.
Love Actually, motherfuckers.
Wow,
I like
Love
it.
Actually, really.
I love that movie. I think that it is the heart and soul of everything that is beautiful about this world. I watch it as often as possible. I will drop everything to watch that film because underneath this tough, toned, gorgeous, buffed exterior lies a big old softie.
Okay, great. Let me ask you a question about Love Actually, because the goal of romantic comedies is to make you believe in true love. So the first time you saw it, was there a thing in your life beforehand when you're like, I don't know, but this shit doesn't exist, and then afterwards the movie completely changes your outlook on life?
Actually, that's an astute observation. In fact, yes. I mean, anytime that I'm feeling negative about something, I turn to a certain aspect of that film. And my favorite part about it is that not every story is a happy one. It's more real than anything else. If I want to watch some dude cheat on his wife, it's going to be Alan Rickman. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But that's a real. I had not seen that movie for like such a long time, and then when I started before my wife was my wife, and we started dating, she actually showed me that, and I was like, oh, this is going to be one of these rom-coms. And I actually really enjoyed it. It is a good movie, and it's one of those ensemble movies that doesn't overtake itself by having too many people in it.
I feel like it's
works.
one of the first successful ones where everyone afterwards has tried to emulate it with like Valentine's Day and New Year's, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But this one is so good.
Great
Absolutely.
choice.
It's well written, and it has a lot of heart, and that's what gets me at the movies.
I love you, Gray. Thank you so much for the call. Loved having you on. Can't wait to have you back live in studio, and we're going to talk Man of Steel once we see you. Can't wait to see that one as well.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it.
Did you see
congratulations.
it?
I love y'all.
Did you see Man of Steel?
I've seen it.
Oh, all right. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Gray, love you,
babe.
Talk to you later. All right, okay.
We
Sorry,
all
we're gonna
collectively have like
Get that
dead
woman
eyes
off the
towards
phone
her.
immediately.
We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back. We have a really special caller calling in right as we get back to talk about one of his favorite movies. Back in a second, Schmoeville. You guys rock. Now, what do we have here?
Yeah.
Man, what is
Listen,
this?
it's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen. Isn't it scary?
I'm getting a little creeped out.
I don't like it.
It's really creepy. I think I know what this is.
Don't go in the water.
Is this Close Encounters? Close Encounters.
I mean, don't go in outer space.
No, the Schmoeville music. So we, guys, we're back. It's the Schmoes Know Podcast, 100th episode. Mark Ellis, Christian Harloff, Tiffany Smith, the whole crew.
Two great phone calls so
Two
far.
great
We
calls.
had
Katie Sackhoff called in.
and Gray Drake. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. God, we have chemistry.
Yeah.
100 episodes in, and my God, it doesn't get that old.
So we're gonna so you guys.
I heard that.
Another thing. So I want to see you guys if you can guess who our next guest calling in will be. You will win a free Ripped Apparel T-shirt.
Whoa!
So if you got to guess, tweet tweet in.
Okay, let me
at Schmoes Know.
Yeah, tweet in at Schmoes Know. Let me handicap this a little bit. Is that we've already had 2 females call in, so the law of averages would say maybe it's dude time.
We don't know yet, so you have to guess who the next caller will be.
I'm helping him win a rip shirt. That's all I'm doing.
So that's the thing. So if you at Schmoes Know and you guess who our next caller will be, if you get it right, then you will win a free Ripped Apparel T-shirt. I'm going to see. So some people are saying Jeremy Johns is going to be the next caller. Some people say Santino. Waiting for the tweets as they come in.
It's on Facebook
and
too.
Facebook as well. So Schmoes Know, and if you put
it's everywhere. It's all over. It's like moss growing.
And there's tons and tons and tons of people putting in. Look, we got it's all over the board. We have our caller calling in. This person that is calling in now has been a huge contributor of the podcast, and it's really cool to have this person back. I am not going to. I'm going to let the person say who it is, so that way we build suspense even more. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
Katherine! It is the first lady of Schmoville herself.
It's Girl with Puppy!
Oh, you're going to put
it never got old and it never was fresh.
I love you, baby. How you doing, Katherine? I miss you.
I miss you guys.
It's crazy. It's honestly like we had to go. We were watching some old clips, Katherine, and again, we all busted each other's balls so much, but we really, the 3 of us, no offense, Tiffany. the three of us.
Tiffany, can you earmuffs for this?
That's why I've been tweeting at people.
No. But when Katherine, but again, when you know how much we love you, Tiffany. When Katherine came in, it just changed the dynamic of the podcast, and it was so much fun. Katherine did 24 episodes with us.
Oh, I had so much fun. And Tiffany, you do a spectacular job.
Thank you.
And might I add, a happy 100th episode, guys. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you, Katherine. So here's what we're doing here. We're asking our guests that have been on the show and has done stuff like what your favorite moment from the times that you were on the podcast, or even if you weren't on the podcast and you listened in, was that you can remember. And also, before we get to that, I want to ask you, because we keep getting questions about it, and I don't think it's fair for us to answer. We want to hear.
You're right. I'm not a virgin.
Okay, good. Okay, that's it. That's exactly what we wanted to know.
My diary is going to hear about this tonight.
That's it. Wanted to get it straight from the horse's mouth. What the hell is going on? What's going on with BID? And are we ever going to see it come back? What's going on with your show, Breaking It Down, that was really great on YouTube?
Oh, God. You guys, I miss BID so hard. I wish I could somehow manifest it and just show you exactly how much I fucking miss it. Can I swear?
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long.
Have you never been on this show?
Fuck shit nuts.
Exactly.
There you go. Let it out.
It's the name of the show now. It's Fuck Shit Nuts.
Yeah, I miss it like crazy, and I'm so sorry to the fans that I haven't been able to reach out to them more and discuss what's happening. The truth of the matter is I am developing a new show.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a similar feel to Breaking It Down.
Okay.
It's not a movie review show, which breaks my heart, but it's, like I said, it focuses on comedy. It would be for TV. And
does it still have an oafish sound guy?
What's that?
Does it still have an oafish sound guy?
Oh, God. I'm going to refrain from even answering that question because I know Harry's listening and he's dying, to be honest.
He's a beautiful man. Well, that's really, really exciting, Kat.
Listening, I wish I could have done BID forever. And everyone's like, oh, but, she needed more money. And it wasn't, believe me, I never got a cent for doing that show. And I probably would never make a cent from doing that show. But the company candor that made that show couldn't sustain it any longer.
Yeah.
And so we had to say goodbye. And that's brutal, brutal, as you guys can imagine. I know how hard you guys work. It's a tough thing to sustain.
Well, I can just tell you how well missed you are because we get questions about it all the time about where BID is and how loved it was. So you are missed, but it's good that you're working on stuff. But let's. But you are a movie fan. You obviously love films. You're very passionate about them, and we have argued and agreed on many of film. What movie would you say, if you could pick a favorite movie, one of your favorites of all time? What movie and why?
A lot of porn, folks.
A lot of porn?
A lot of porn comes to mind. I have to be controversial if I call in here. This is the most annoying question of all time.
Spider-Man?
Oh, God.
And I imagine that a lot of people are finding it this way.
I'm listening to you, Katherine. Please continue. God, we need you back in studio so bad. This is why we can't have nice things. So you hate getting the question, what is your favorite movie of all time?
I do. I think it's an impossible question because movies hit you at different periods of your life.
Agreed.
Where they mean different things to you. And they, there's some movies where you might go bananas for them, and then you watch them a few years later and you're like, at that point in my life, I really needed that movie, and now not so much.
Okay, wait, let me try something with Katherine then. Okay, Katherine, then let me ask you 2 questions. What's your favorite movie as you're talking on the phone right now? And what was your favorite movie when young Katherine Reitman graduated high school?
Great question.
That's an awesome question.
That's why I'm here. Somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
I watched Usual Suspects 2 nights ago, and it rocked my world. It was so much fun. If you haven't seen that movie in a while, kick back in and look at Kevin Spacey before he decided to go on Netflix. This guy is so good.
He's so good in that movie. The Kaiser Soze, man. And again, it's Bryan Singer when he was a little more raw than he is nowadays. But yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's a great movie. It's one of my favorites.
And then if I fire up the DeLorean and go back in time and take a young Katherine Reitman to prom, what movie are we talking about when we have that slow dance to Bon Jovi?
Oh, well, obviously Young Guns, my love.
Good movie.
Good choice.
You have caused no controversy here.
Young Guns, too. Great call.
Great picks on both your picks, Katherine.
I will make you famous, Katherine, and you have helped make us a lot more famous. And we cannot underestimate or undervalue what you've done for our show, kid. We will always be in your debt.
Yeah, Katherine, we really miss you. Can't wait. And just let everybody know, Katherine will be coming back to be on an episode with Kenny. What date is that, the 20th?
June 20th.
How funny is that? June 20th.
Hi, Ken.
Hey, Katherine, how you doing?
And you know what, guys? I because I know how much Christian loves a huge Schmoes exclusive. On the 20th, I have a reveal that might just tie your dick in a knot, folks.
Whoa! Wow.
I don't know if that's pleasant.
It might be. I mean, it depends on what the scoop is.
I got to get some length.
Yeah. All right, Katherine. So again, thank you so much for calling in tonight. You had to call in. We wouldn't have been the same without you. So thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you on the 20th.
Love you guys. Congrats on 100th.
Thank you so much. All right, Katherine Reitman, everybody. I mean, again, she always brings it every time.
I totally had Emilio Estevez posters around when Young Guns came out because I loved him in that.
My favorite part of that interview, as great as Katherine was watching Kenny practice being smooth for Maria Menounos. Yeah. And he was like, hey, Kenny.
He's like, I'll do it better on Maria's.
Blueberries, Kenny. You got it. You got another 20 minutes. You're going to be fine. Get loose.
Less than 20.
Get warm.
Yeah. So we again, guys. So now we're going to be without a caller for another probably 7 minutes. Our next caller is going to call in about 7:50 PST. So I wanted to talk to the crew here now about one of their favorite movies, and we'll talk about something that on their minds, and we'll discuss it. Let's start with the man who's been running the website, the guy who has really turned schmoesknow.com into a player, and that is Mark Riley.
Yeah.
Riley. Oh, by the way, guys, and I forgot to mention this, Josh Macuga at Josh Macuga is live tweeting all night about the show, so make sure you follow him if you don't already, at Josh Macuga. And so is Joe Rouge, JoeRug 23. It's hard not saying shoesy pants. So let's get to Facty McFacterson.
Yeah.
So pick a movie. What do you got? I know you have tons of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you could take. Which one do you want to talk about?
You know what? I go back and forth between these two, but I'm gonna go with Jaws.
Oh, Ellis is giving you death eyes right now.
No, that's great. Riley and I had a pregame conversation. Okay. He said, you want to talk about Jaws? And I'm like, you start it, and I'll finish this bitch in the fourth quarter.
There you go. I almost said E.T., but I wanted to, Jaws and E.T. switch places every day almost. But Jaws, I just love. Yeah. I love what, the fact that it went through just hell to make that movie. And then what came out of that, what Spielberg did, he created the summer blockbuster with Jaws. Yep. It was like the first $100 million grossing movie.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Okay.
It was. It really just. I mean, it's Jaws.
It paved the way for a movie, for a series of movies that's going to be brought up a lot tonight. And that's Star Wars. Because it said, summer is when, much like everybody in Amity, they went there so they could go in the water during the summertime. It showed that everybody loves going to the movie theater all across the world in the summertime. We want to eat popcorn. We want to have escapism, and we don't like swimming that much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It is. I mean, it's one of the. And obviously, it was the one that said, "Hey, world, this is Steven Spielberg." And that is, right there, again, because you hear the stories of how that was all made, and at the time he was just some young schmucky kid who wanted to be a director, and then he made this movie, and oh shit.
Yeah,
watch out for this guy.
The producers, taking him off of Sugarland Express, which was his first movie, story, and then the producer's going, who the fuck is this guy?
Right. Yeah.
And then all the problems, of course, that happened. He must have been almost fired at least 16 times, and but he put out the greatest. Is it a horror thriller? I don't know.
You know what? I'm a video store kid, so I always look at movies like that, and they always had Jaws in the horror section. Yeah. And so I assumed it was. It's a fucking there's a monster shark. Yeah. But the more you watch it, the more it's like a
thriller.
It's a great drama. These
three
dudes
drama.
who really don't want to hang out with each other on this rickety boat named after another great water movie, Orca.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's one of my favorite films of all time for that reason. And then we were watching After Earth last night, and I try to put out of my head that this is Will Smith's kid and that he's getting the role because of Will Smith's dad.
Sure.
But you do that with Jaws, and then you think about all the other elements in Jaws, all the production elements.
Yeah.
It just impresses the hell out of you that this movie was able to come together as great as it did, given all that crap on the high seas.
And it really defined Spielberg's look. By the shark's not working, so he's going to use camera tricks. He's going to use the barrels.
Isn't that funny how that all works out?
Yeah,
too?
and then everybody's been ripping that off for years.
And
well, that's what I was going to say. It was one of the first movies where I feel like the soundtrack and the effect, the sound and music for one characters is so.
I feel like
everyone remembers it. So
it
much.
was Spielberg and Williams' coming out party.
Was that the first time they collaborated?
That was the first time.
Because you talk about the greatest first date in history.
Yeah.
Holy shit, did John Williams woo Steven Spielberg? Because then he got recommended to Lucas by Spielberg, and then I think he did a couple good scores with George Lucas as well.
Here and there. You might hear one of them tonight. Now, here, let's take some tweets from Schmoeville here. There's some stuff as far as talking about Jaws here. At JPH29 says, the execution of Jaws was just fantastic. It was a premise that could be cheesy, and it was epic. Mm-hmm. And that's very true because you have... When you hear about it, it could be a B movie. Very much so.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's terrifying to this day, and it's a great choice.
And you know what? If they showed that shark at the beginning of the movie, like they planned, it would have turned into a B movie. Because, look, the shark... It still looks a little fake, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off. It looks great.
But what I'm saying is, by the time you see it, Spielberg has got you by the balls.
Yeah, you're already in that world.
Like, fuck, oh, look at that. And I, as a kid, was scared shitless.
I'll take a shark that doesn't work any day. When you get a shark that doesn't work, you get Jaws. When you get a shark that does work, you get Jaws 4.
Yeah.
I will take the first one.
Well, or any of those movies on Sci-Fi where it's like the giant shark in the water. What's the movie?
Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah. But I think that's what horror does so well. Your imagination is scarier than actually seeing the shark at the beginning, and so it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then you don't care what it looks like.
Exactly, and I wish they would use some of those elements in today's Hollywood blockbusters, not to show us everything, but really let the audience imagine what's going on.
Right.
And that first shot tells you everything of Jaws. It's like the music, the underwater sounds, and it's just a shark POV. You don't see the shark, but you're just going through the ocean.
POV for all you youngsters out there is film speak for a point of view.
That's correct.
If you guys have not seen Jaws, obviously just see it tomorrow as soon as the show's over. Pop it in your Blu-ray player and make sure you check that out. Now we have another caller who's going to be talking about their favorite movie. We'll introduce the caller like this. One, two, three.
All right.
There he is.
I tried to call Macuga in for that.
El Meimbe joining us for the 100th show of the Schmoes Know Podcast. What's up, dude?
Congratulations on making 100.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And we'd like to thank, you're relatively new to Schmoeville, but you have done nothing less but throw bombs every time you come in here. So we thank you for being a part of the show, man.
Oh, good. Happy to be on, man. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. So let's see. Before we talk to you about your favorite movie, one of your favorite movies of all time, you got anything that we can lick our chops over?
Well, there's going to be a very, very huge Marvel movie scoop that I'm not breaking, but it's going to break on another site, and I'm happy they got it.
Ooh.
But you'll know it I'll remind you when it breaks.
Tomorrow?
Huge Marvel casting story.
Okay.
Fanboys are going to be like, what? No way. It's bananas.
Just so I can set my iPhone calendar, are we looking at maybe tomorrow? Are we looking at next week? What are we looking at? Do you know?
I would say in the next 24 hours, and I hope this one pans out because it'd be a game changer for superhero movies.
Oh,
just when I thought I could get some sleep.
And that's what he does. He comes in here and he lets us know what's going down in the geek world, and we are happy to have him. Now, Elmi Imbe, we have a question now for you. We've been talking about our favorite movies of all time. Do you have one in particular that you want to talk about?
Man, I have my favorite movie of all time and my favorite genre movie of all time. It's always a toss-up, but if I got to go with my favorite movie of all time, it's hands down, being a New York kid, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
This is the guy that goes to the club, he woos everybody, he gets the scoops out of him, and he does it on the disco floor, ladies and gentlemen.
I would never have guessed that, but now that you've described it like that, I'm like, well, duh.
I get it. Staying alive. Vinny,
Back in the late 70s when I was an infant, they had the rated R version, but then they had the PG version. Paramount put out a PG version so that families could go.
Yep, I remember that.
So my mom would take me as this. My mom was a background extra in the movie.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Well, it's also because those aren't actually John Travolta's feet at the beginning of the movie. When you just see the feet, rumor has it it's actually Elmi Imbe's feet. And I just wondered if he could comment on it.
Oh, I could get down and put that boy to shame, but not really. So she took us. I saw it like 5 times in the day. So it's like you wanted to be that guy, had that kind of swag, walk down the street, yo, what's up, get into the club. Who did, it made an impression on me as a kid. And
of course.
Then I appreciated it later and stuff, but I love the movie, man. So when there's these knockoffs like the Boogie Nights, the Behind the Candelabras that take that, the Magic Mike that take the model of Saturday Night Fever, it's always a story paradigm that I quite enjoy.
I agree with you. And the thing with that movie, too, because I loved it as well, the thing with that movie was it was different because it was so raw, that movie. It really was. Like, the stuff that went down, I mean, without spoiling for any younger people who haven't seen the movie, there's the bridge scene you don't expect that's coming at the end. There's a lot of stuff.
My hair. You always touching my hair.
Yeah. Exactly. Watch the hair. It's a great movie.
When he's getting dressed in front of the mirror and stuff, I kind of do that to this day. Put the chain on, put the clothes on.
That's what we expect to see you in at Comic-Con, P.S.
Yes, you better be wearing that.
When we show up to your party, I would like you to be wearing that.
I'm going to cosplay as either Don Draper or James Bond in Quantum of Solace. I'm liking the gray suit look lately.
Oh, I get it.
And either way, you'll be able to tell by his walk, he is a ladies' man.
I just wanted to thank you so much again, dude. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, and we always look forward to what we hang on every word you say. And thank you so much. We look forward. I'm sure we're going to have you on in the next couple of weeks once we have this scoop. But before you go,
I'll be in LA.
I knew you wanted to do it before
you
left.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much, man.
Bye.
It's good. Always great to have that guy, and he really knows his movies.
Knows his movies, and he's back in good health as well. So congratulations to him on that. And Saturday Night Fever, that's the first real Love Actually. I wasn't really expecting, but Saturday Night Fever, it's one of those ones you're like, oh yeah, that's great.
It's a great one. All right, so now what we're going to do, because we're going to go to break in a little bit, and Maria Menounos will be in at 8:00. But before we do that, now it is time to go to Schmoeville and find out from you guys what your favorite movies are. Let's take a call now and see from Schmoeville. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? My name is Rokan.
Hey, Rokan.
I remember I talked to you guys during the Iron Man 3 podcast. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. What do you got? So if you had a favorite movie, Rokan, that you could talk about right now, what would it be?
Well, I just want to ask before we start, do trilogies count?
What's that? Which one?
Trilogies. Do trilogies count?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. Yeah, absolutely. You can include a trilogy for sure.
If it's a good trilogy, yes. If we don't like the trilogy, then absolutely
not if it's Matrix.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
But my favorite movie of all time is the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay, that's one we can get into before the break. Absolutely.
Okay. Crack that bottle of wine open.
Yeah. You got us going, Rokan. Thank you so much. Before we let you go, what's your favorite movie out of the trilogy?
I would say The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Okay. All right. So let's start from there from Rokan's point. Thank you for the call, man. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Dark Knight. I know
he's right, man. I mean, those 2.5 movies are some of the best 2.5 movies I've ever seen. I'll start us off because my favorite film in the trilogy is Batman Begins. Not by a landslide, because I love watching The Dark Knight too, but Batman Begins, man, there's nothing like a superhero origin story, and there's no cooler one to me than the way Batman came to become Batman.
Well, you know what I liked about that? I mean, Dark Knight, still is my favorite, and I know that at one point I said Rises. I still like Rises a lot, but Dark Knight is my favorite out of the three. But the reason that I agree with your point, the way it's a good start off, is because it had to reboot that smell of the Joel Schumacher thing. It had to really show you what the tone was and what we were getting from this new guy, Christopher Nolan. He'd done a couple movies that we knew, but Memento and whatnot. But this was the one. This is Batman. Other greats have had it. What are you going to do with it? And that's really the one that you remember the most now. So
I would say Begins is probably still my favorite.
Okay.
Dark Knight Rises is very close. But it definitely, origin stories are my favorite. And I think this was the first time really where what I love about Batman as a character is that he has no superpowers. He's kind of just a crazy dude who makes stuff and goes out to fight villains who some of them do have powers you know. Yeah. So I think that the reboot of that and just seeing the backstory and him learning how to be Batman was so awesome. And Liam Neeson.
The first time you got to see Batman, it almost sneaks up on you because it almost didn't have to be a Batman movie. That first half, it's just this guy who's trying to find himself and his place in the world.
Yeah.
And then that scene on the docks where you see Batman for the first time, you're like, I remember that. That was Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty exciting.
But it doesn't take away from what happened in the second one.
You got, baby.
I mean, they're all so good.
But that movie, I mean, come on.
Dark Knight is the godfather of superhero movies.
It is the movie, again, because one of my favorite movies that we may or may not talk about later is Heat. And,
I love that movie.
The beginning of The Dark Knight reminded me of Heat, the way that the bank scene and just the way and I saw it in IMAX and I'm like, well, this is something different here. The first one was great, but this is something different. And then that chilling performance of Heath Ledger, it's just one of the greatest movies and got robbed for not even a nomination.
I just think sometimes the middle films in a trilogy though are really hard because so much happens in that one, and that's why I feel like it kind of gets lost. An origin story and the finale are kind of, you can make the story a little bit more concise. In the middle, you have to throw in a lot of stuff,
and you have to make a decision in the middle one. It's do we end this happy, or because we know there's another one, there's another train coming that's going to have all that presents and candy for the kids. What do we do with this one? How do we want the audience to lead the theater in the middle one? And I think Dark Knight did that about as well as they could have.
Agreed. And Schmoeville's tweeting into a lot of love for The Dark Knight. At Alan Cumbus writes in, The Dark Knight has the most rewatchability and the setup is fantastic.
How many of them still hate me for giving Dark Knight Rises 4 out of 5?
Let's talk about that before we go to break here. Now, I just watched it again recently, and look,
Rises?
Yeah. Now, I know that you and JTI have, and a lot of people have their problems with it. I liked it just as much when I watched it again, and I watched it with my wife.
Still a 5 out of 5 for you.
4.5, maybe 5. I'd go around in the area. If you want to take away from the holes and stuff, but overall experience, 5.
Yeah, all right.
I would agree.
I might not even give it 4.
And there was so much going in to see it, and we saw the first half and had to leave and come back. That's should have left a bad taste in my mouth, but then I came back and I was like, this is so good. I'm so glad I got to see the first half twice.
All right, well, guys, it's time to go to break, and another trilogy music playing in the background. Tiffany Smith knows exactly what this is. I'm sure that will come up a little later. When we get back from the break, we are going to be joined by the lovely Maria Menounos, the host of Extra, and she'll be talking about her movie coming out to video on demand, and we look forward to talking to you guys about favorite movies. Schmoes Know Podcast, 100th episode. The whole crew will be back in a second. Waiting to hear what we got. It's not Reservoir Dogs.
I know what this is. This is the music they play whenever I walk into a bowling alley because they know they're dealing with a guy who means business.
You do mean business. Schmoes Know Podcast, episode 100, everybody. Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, Tiffany Smith, Josh Macuga, Mark Riley, Ken Napzok, fucking Choosy Pants, and JTI. Whole crew here for you guys doing our show. So excited. What do we got here, Johnny? I forgot.
I know. Well, I'm trying to get it.
I went with it.
What an asshole. The only reason he rattled off the entire cast of the show was so the monkeys in his head could get on the treadmill and think about what this was.
Also, he's like, do you guys know this
I know
one?
it. I know
Hold
it.
on.
I know
Hold
it.
on.
Some
And then
Goodfellas.
he's like, I don't know.
from Goodfellas. Thank you, T_Hughes35. All right, so guys, it's
for tweeting in to tell Christian what the song was from.
Absolutely right. They again, to let everybody know that we have been playing scores that Schmoville has suggested. We did that, and you guys have tweeted in today and Facebook from all your favorite movies, and Goodfellas was from somebody's. We put that in there. So
great score, great soundtrack, great movie, and we're talking about
we're talking about great movies tonight. We had a lot of callers from episodes past calling in. We already had Katie Sackhoff calling.
I kind of feel like Scrooge, you know? It's like we're just going through the ghosts of Christmas past, and we see Sackhoff. We talked to Katherine Reitman. Gray Drake was also in the first hour. A lot of hot chicks.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that's Tiffany Smith over there.
Tiffany Smith. Tiffany, let me ask you a question. So you now have been a part of this show for since like October.
I don't even know how many episodes.
It's been a lot of episodes. I don't know if you've eclipsed Reitman yet, but you're getting there.
I feel like it was official right after the new year.
Yeah, Riley, get lost. We got a guest coming in. No offense.
Yeah, no problem.
We're talking. Okay, guys. So joining us back in Schmoville, Maria Menounos has entered Schmoville. She's here, and can we get her some cans, get her on the mic?
While Tiffany tries to remember what number show this is for her, we will welcome our very special guest, Maria Menounos.
I have no idea.
This is very exciting for me because I was not here last time, Maria. I was out on the road, and I apologize for not being in town to greet you and keep you away from all the crazy animals here in Schmoville.
I know. So, Maria, this is my very lovely co-host.
What do you do? Introduce me as lovely?
My very lovely co-host, who just had hernia surgery, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. But that's how I get all the chicks. I say I'm lovely, and I just had
surgery. That's it. But
what's the date?
Yes. So Mark Ellis is the man that I started this whole shebang with, and now this is our 100th episode. So thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm excited to be here on this momentous occasion.
It is. It's really cool to have you back. We had so much fun last time.
Thanks. Me too.
And we would like to now be introduced to Kevin finally.
Yep.
Hi, guys.
We missed you last time.
I know. Yeah. Well, I usually let Maria do the on-camera stuff. And you had Hal, didn't you?
We did have Hal. Hal was just on last week too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he came back and we talked some Star Trek stuff. So it was pretty cool.
He had nothing but nice things to say about you.
Good.
Mostly nice things to say about you.
It was all in a different language, so we're not sure.
Last time we got some good stories about him.
Yeah.
From you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like we kind of met him.
Yeah, it's true. We got a lot of the prank stories and a lot of the everything the way the movie was produced, which we should talk about because now it's coming on. It's on video on demand, right?
Yeah, we just released on iTunes. Was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago?
It's been such a blur from all the press.
Yes. Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Adventures of Serial Buddies. Is it actually video on demand if it's not on TV yet? That might be the next phase.
It's next phase. Yeah.
So
okay.
I guess it's iTunes now. But you know it's good when you've been doing so much press for the movie that you actually forget when it came out on iTunes. That's like a good problem to have, right?
Good point. Yeah, we are in a haze. I mean, we did Howard Stern in New York, and we did.
And that's always an adventure.
Yeah, I know.
It's always an adventure. You know, it's so stressful to do that show. It's funny. Courtney Love, you were listening to the interview today, and she said the same thing. She was like, I can only handle this once every so often because it's so stressful.
But Maria, you've been back there a bunch of times though, and so you always have fun.
I do.
It's just crazy.
Last time was really, 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 really bad.
Okay.
Is it because you feel comfortable? Like you get into a comfort zone if you've done it a few times, and then all of a sudden stuff comes out of your mouth. Like, oh my God, did I just say that?
Now, if it was just me, I have no problem because I am. Is this a beer? I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
100.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'll be the Susie Homemaker and give you your own coaster.
I got one too.
Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. All right, yes. So we were celebrating here. We're very happy. We had again, guys. Just to let everybody know, we had so far great calls tonight. Katie Sackhoff called in. We had Katherine Reitman just called in. Bonnie Somerville will be calling in. We're talking about favorite movies here. We have Maria Menounos who's joining us now. Maria, now one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about as well. And we actually want to talk a little more about the movie, but we're talking about favorite movies tonight. Some of your favorites. Kevin, I want to get your favorites as well, too. Fans have been calling in. But something later that we're going to do, I don't know if you remember when we gave you the Rip shirt last time you were here, the Breaking Bad shirt. And what
I wanted that shirt, by the way.
I know.
I wanted that shirt, and I was out of town, and then I see I'm watching the show live from the road, and then I see Christian say, Maria, we have a very special, and I'm like, I know your favorite show is Breaking Bad. I'm like, don't you fucking do it. And he did it.
Of course.
But I love what you did with the shirt.
Thank you.
The little, the flare. Like, I would have just completely ripped that thing to shreds. I don't have the magic touch. But
I never thought I would have the magic touch, but I chopped it up and it worked.
And I think if you wore it cut up like that, it might not look quite as good as it did on her.
I would go down to Venice Beach and go to the Gold's Gym down there. It'd look awesome. What are you talking about?
Well, Maria, so we thought about doing something today and want to see if you're up for it. So one of the things, after we'll talk about favorite movies and we want to talk more about Serial Buddies as well, but maybe right before, maybe like the 8:30 area, one of the things we wanted to do, we're going to give away a Rip shirt to one of the fans. Okay. Kind of like what we did last time. They'll call in. Now, there's going to be 5 people in this mix. It'll be myself, Mark Ellis, Josh Macuga, and where's it? Mark Riley, I think that's actually, and Ken Napzok. Okay, those 5 people. Okay. So what we will ask is we're going to ask you what celebrity we get that we look like the most. Okay. Now, and then if you have interviewed that person. Okay. So the fan will have to call up and say, okay, I think Maria's going to get who Mark looks like, and I think that she has interviewed this person. So they go, okay, he looks like. You say, I think it looks like what?
I can't make eye contact with Maria right now because she's good at this. So she's already.
That's the point.
The wheels are already turning in her head, and she's like, I know exactly who this idiot
playing
looks
it.
like.
She likes to, again, last time she was on, she likes to play these games. She's going to figure it out. And so we'll see what happens. So are you up for playing that game later?
I am. Can I have Kevin be my phone a friend?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let you guys get a couple Imperial Ales deep, and then we'll play that game.
That's the whole point.
I'm already making mental notes.
Yeah, he's Carl Weathers, and then
I get that a lot.
You do get that a lot.
You'd be surprised how much
your
I get
fight
that
with Rocky was
from
amazing.
Family members that I pay.
All right, now before we do that, and that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to you. We're going to talk to you guys out there about your favorite movies. Let's talk a little bit more about Serial Buddies here. Mm-hmm. So, what happened with the theatrical release? How do we feel about it? How do we do? How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, we, as you know, because we were here talking about it, we came out in AMC theaters across the country. I think it was like 6 or so cities. And it did well. It did really well. They actually extended the release 2 more weeks, which I thought, 1 week and we'd be out.
Which is a lifetime in indie film, especially with AMC theaters.
And we hung in, which was really cool. And then
reaction was good. A lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, actually. And the theaters we were in, because we would pop into theaters across the country as it was unrolling, we're pretty full, so it was fun. Lots
we
of
did.
laughs.
We creeped into a couple.
Yeah,
and word of mouth is everything with those things. So if you get that extra week in a theater, then it's people go see it the first week, and then they tell their friends, "Oh, you got to go see Adventures of Serial Buddies." Then they have that option, and it's not just like, "Oh shit, I missed it."
And it's like watching your kid too, like playing. You're like, you better laugh, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god! We have heart attacks the whole time. Yeah. Kevin hates going,
worst.
and I was dragging him,
worst.
and I dragged him for a reason because I saw people's reactions, and they were so positive, and people did laugh and love it that I wanted him to feel that because he's always so nervous as an artist. Right. And I'm like, no, you are coming, and I promise people are going to be laughing. And at each screening, there were certain places where we got laughs that we weren't expecting, and it was even better.
That's always, again, like when you do that, and when you watch something, you put so much hard effort into it. And again, you guys watching how much press you put into it, and you could tell you really cared about it. So I'm happy that, again, everyone out there, where can they find it? iTunes, is that what you said?
You can go to serialbuddies.com.
Okay.
With an S.
Okay.
With an S. Or
we're not talking like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? Like cereal.
Yeah.
Or you can go to iTunes.
Okay.
For now.
All right,
and then like in September it comes out on DVD in stores and things like that. There's that other rollout.
There's all those stages, September's DVD. No, and then even before then, sometime in August will be video on demand, and then after that, it's like Netflix and that stuff.
And it's and a website too. So you said
serialbuddies.com.
Okay, great. So, and again, we'd like to thank you again for making the introduction to Hal, because what's funny is that, and we talked to Hal about this last week as well. His YouTube channel that he does, Screen Junkies, we had been back and forth with him about doing stuff, and we didn't even put the connection together last time he was here. And now we've been working with him as well. So thank you for reintroducing us to him.
I know what you're doing right here. Christian had a great appearance on Screen Junkies, and it came out today. Christian was that guy at the airport. He was actually watching it on his phone with the volume up in a theater.
The volume wasn't up.
Dude, no, you're that guy.
Stop. The thing the movie didn't even start.
Everybody
could hear yelling at
it.
each other across the boat. Did you see Man of Steel? No, I didn't see it yet, but I'm like a bad guy because I'm checking my appearance.
You're turning into a dad right now.
I don't think I've ever seen him get so angry at the podcast.
I wasn't angry. I was defensive. There's a difference.
But I'll say this: you were very funny and you were very well put together on that episode.
All right, I'll take it.
You were great.
I'll take it.
Hey, everyone watches themselves. Please, if he's doing it in public, then even better.
Right?
See? No, because everyone pretends that they don't. You know what? If I see a Google alert pop up and it's a video, I'm like, I'm watching this.
Check it out.
Make sure it's okay. funny.
Good. Yeah. See,
Are you kidding? I need a Vicodin just to watch the replay of this
I'm
podcast.
with you. I'm
Yeah.
totally with you. I cannot see anything, read anything, nothing.
That's right. Daddy needs to go to the Bahamas in my mental state. If you know what I mean.
That's where the vein ones.
Hey, you know.
So,
I'll watch it once and then I'm like, not again.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Watch to see if I did anything weird.
you gotta,
Yes,
you gotta
you
watch.
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
You
he,
have
he didn't even know this was episode 100 until I told him 10 minutes ago.
I had no idea any of this shit was plugged in. This is mind blowing to
It's
me.
the truth. So, all right. So we're gonna get into favorite movies here in a second, but I wanted Maria. You also have a podcast out there, Conversations with Maria Menounos, and I listened to one the other day, and it was with Zoe Saldana. And there was something that you said on there that you guys were talking about, and I had to ask you about this too, because I know there's a lot of people out here in Schmoville as well that have talked about this. And you were bullied when you were younger, is what you said on your show. That's baffling to me on so many different reasons. One is, why were you bullied?
I'll say it. You're hot.
But
That makes no sense.
That makes no sense. So, hey, pretty girl, stupid! Wow, you smacked that kid.
Yeah,
when I smacked that kid.
When I was in school, it's like the kids who would get bullied. You know, luckily I had the sense of humor to fall back on because I had not much for genetics. But then you had the cute popular girls. They were always the cool ones,
But
and
they
so
don't
it's a
get
weird.
bullied?
It's a weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's why I'm saying
Right.
it's odd.
Okay. Oh, right. So why? So first of all, the question is, why were you bullied?
It's so funny because I'm doing something next week that's going to be announced tomorrow, and I
we can't break it tonight.
I know, I wish. And I had to kind of write like a little speech thing, and my friend who's helping me was like, God, you should talk about being bullied. And I'm like, God, it's such a hard thing to talk about because people are like, oh, really, you? And I'm like, I don't want to be the like.
But I think it's important that you're talking about it because to me, when you said that, I was like, well, yeah, because I want to know why. Not more like I don't believe it. I like. Why? And who's the idiot? Who are the idiot guys in that school not sticking up for you?
But also, it's not even just like that. It's just you don't want to look like, oh, I'm oh, woe is me. Like I had a problem too. So it's like you just can't win. Right. So I was like, I ripped it out of the speech. I'm like, if it just comes out naturally, like I'll say something really quick. But I always try to hide that stuff because it never works. No one ever appreciates what it is for what it is, in a sense.
It's a tough thing to pull off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I got it from when I was young.
You couldn't even eat lunch in your
I had to hide
cafeteria
in
your
school.
junior and senior year, right?
So, and Kevin, you guys didn't know each other yet.
No.
You guys met in
Senior
college,
year,
right?
I was fine.
Okay.
Like from when I was young, because I was Greek and I didn't speak English.
Kevin's like, no, I would have been cracking skulls.
So me and this kid, I'll never forget, Long Tran. He was from China, I think.
Oh, Long Tran.
Long
right,
Tran.
no, these guys are cracking up because you just know it doesn't end well with Long
Like
Tran.
they used to smush us together and like throw us in up against a wall.
Talk
and be
about
like,
just being dealt
because we
a
didn't
shit
speak
hand.
English.
Get ready to go Long Tran.
And so,
poor guy.
Yeah, no,
so
he
they were
definitely-
pretty mean,
yeah.
and then there was one other Greek kid that came to my elementary school, and then because we were the only two Greek kids, they would physically smush us together and throw us up against a wall and be like, "You Greek geeks stick together" and stuff like that. So it was like that stuff growing up, and then bullied for hand-me-downs because my parents were poor and like I couldn't get new clothes and things like that, and so that was terrible. And then as I grew up. Definitely by high school, I remember freshman year, I started coming home like bawling my brains out to my mom, and she was like, don't give them a reason to hate you, because the girls all wanted to like beat me up, the senior girls, the older girls, because their class, the boys would like give me their number or whatever, and I'm like, I can't date, and my parents were so strict, and I was so scared of my parents that I was never going to ever say yes to any of these people. There's just no way, and so. My mom was like, don't give them a reason to hate you. So I literally wouldn't shower. I would go to school in dirty freaking sweats. I did everything I could to
try to go under the radar.
I had to hide during lunch. I had to, and my best friend would hide with me. We'd hide in the lockers, over by the lockers, and everybody would have lunch. And then I remember at some point there was 3 different cafeterias. So I would hide in the nerdy cafeteria, where I was safe.
You figure out certain there's like terror threat red kind of situations, like the lunch and recess, and then after school, and then you kind of mellow out. It's like you find bass playing tag. Like when you're in class and the teacher's writing on the chalkboard, you can relax. You can come up with the next battle plan, but you're so composed now about it, though. And that's what I admire about you. If I was bullied that much, every time I signed off on any TV gig I did, I'd be like, "My name's Mark Ellison. By the way, how you doing, Paul? How's that trailer park? How your 9 kids?"
And again, and this is how Schmoeville feels as well. Tweets around the board here at Night of Steel 87. Maria Menounos' bullies are now working at McDonald's. So we got a lot again, and that's the thing, though. I'm glad that you're talking about it too, because if you're out there talking about it, then hopefully, because it drives me nuts. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and she
bullies me. Actually, she does bully me.
She is far away from that stuff, but I see it, and I get so I hate it in general. But now when I hear about kids getting bullied and stuff, it really I start going. So when I heard that, it really
Did you guys see the movie, the documentary?
Oh no, I heard that it didn't really.
Right? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was brutal.
Well, and I think there's so many people that I talk to now that are successful and work really hard were bullied. Like I used to get my lunch money stolen all the time. Like I just started giving.
Well, they say Hollywood is Revenge of the Nerds. That's what they always say is people in Hollywood, and I think in most professions work extra hard because they did endure that. So by taking that away, right? Is it the pussification of America?
Yeah.
Just saying,
Carlin,
going with the flip. Of this.
I just feel like it's a lot more aggressive now. Like the things that they're saying and doing to these kids, and
everything they can do, Facebook and Twitter, and the way they do
changed.
stuff.
Yeah, like now, we have to deal with Instagram. So like I have a friend whose daughter, was posting like pictures of herself on Instagram, and the hate that was coming at her. So it's like, and there are bullies for everything.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gay, you're lesbian, you're black, you're Latino, you're whatever you are.
One eyebrow.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everybody is getting bullied. Of course, like in the gay and lesbian community, unfortunately, it's really prevalent. It's really sad, but it's like, I think like kids need to be taught to be like the knights. Like
I agree with you.
Someone should step up. Like I remember I would step up for people, even though I had no place to step up for,
Yeah.
But I was in that weird thing where like I wasn't in the. I was kind of in the nerd clique for a while, and then I kind of like was in the just me and Alyssa clique, my best friend, and then. I was at some point I grew to be kind of popular in a sense because the popular kids we had this understanding.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like hanging out with them. I wasn't cool enough to hang out with them.
It's a new tryout every year.
You took your lumps, basically, is what it was, though, too.
Sure.
And that's the thing. So,
the first day of school, you walk in, and then it's like, all right, how are we going to do this year? Fuck. It's another thing like that.
It's like jail.
Hate it.
It's like prison.
I wish I was bullied more. If I could have turned out more like Maria.
I know, seriously. I'll start bullying you if that's going to help the show.
It's too late. It's too late. You got to start.
Yeah, totally. But so let me ask. So you've worked with the WWE before.
Yeah.
Now, have you done their? They have the Be a Star anti-bullying program. Have you worked at all with them on that?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
No, but I'd love to.
Oh, that'd be great. So again, guys, this is to show you guys out there. Listen, if you are being bullied out there, F them. Okay, seriously, because look at Maria Menounos. Seriously though, I mean, there are people out there that you think you think that these people matter. They don't. They're doing it for a specific reason. It's their own issues.
But it's always their true insecurities that are coming out. Like I never bullied anybody. I never wanted to be mean to anybody because I was secure with myself.
And
so it's always their issues and their problems. So the whole thing is like you have to be strong. You have to try to surround yourselves with good people that can like keep you calm in those moments and know that you just have to kind of suffer through sometimes, stay calm, focus on your work, and throw yourselves into like your activities and stuff, and just keep your head above water till you can get away from these.
It's like a
fucks.
bank. You just,
I'm sorry, it's true.
There it is.
And that's it. There are a bunch of fucks. All right, so transitioning on to that.
The
again,
Schmoes Know Movies podcast has been a bully-free, fuck-free zone.
Not today.
For the last 100 episodes.
That's right. So, okay, guys. Again, that is it is the Schmoes Know 100 episode today. We are with Maria Menounos, and we're talking about our favorite movies. And
Universal Soldier was already taken, so that's mine.
Yes,
you can't have it.
Now, do you guess mine? My number one favorite movie ever.
Don't tell us yet. Don't tell us yet because I want to hold that. What do you think? I think it's going to be like.
I want one hit.
If it's Fever Pitch, you're out of here.
What? Fever Pitch is good. I like Fever Pitch.
No. I don't want to deal with Red Sox stuff. We'll talk about it another time. What's that? But before we do that, one of the things we've been doing tonight, before you guys walked in, we're taking phone calls from some of the people who really helped build the podcast and the show. We had Katie Sackhoff call in and Katherine Reitman. Now joining us on the phone is someone who has been with us for a very long time and has been a guest before we were on Toad Hop Network, and that is the very lovely and talented actress, Bonnie Somerville.
Hey!
Wow. Hey, guys!
Bonnie, what's up? How you doing?
Congratulations. You guys are amazing. You're legends. Heroes.
Thank you so much. Well, Bonnie,
we couldn't have made it all the way to 100 without you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Honestly, I cannot believe it.
Well, thank you. You're here now. It's myself, it's Tiffany, it's Mark, and Maria Menounos.
Congrats.
And so one of the things I wanted to ask you, Bonnie, was, so out of all the moments that you've been on the show, do you have a favorite moment that you remember?
Oh my God. I think my favorite moment was the first time you had me on, and it was like in your little teeny tiny cubicle in your old apartment before you were married with Mark, and you like interviewed me on with a pen. I don't even know what you used.
It was a trunk. Yeah, it was a trunk.
And just to clear that up, if you're listening for the first time, Christian didn't marry me. He got a wife, and then they married.
I met Christian before Christian was married. It was like in this little room, and there was like a towel off behind me, and I think it was for the Princess Bride, which was,
And you came in, and actually, Bonnie, that was the time when you actually dared me to go see the Princess Bride, because I'd never seen the Princess Bride before.
That's right.
And then
How dare you talk about movies and not have seen the Princess Bride?
This is what she does.
No, Bonnie, so let me ask you, so what is the Princess Bride your choice for favorite movie? What is your choice tonight for your favorite movie?
It was really hard. I had to think about it because, I'm a movie freak like you guys. So I had to narrow it down, and I was like, okay, if I had to just take just as a film and then take everything away. Meanwhile, I'm a huge comedy fan, but I was like, shoot, what?
It's tough.
It would have to be Godfather 2.
Good one.
One of the best comedies ever written.
I just want to say, as a film, I was trying to think of, you didn't ask me for different genres. You
No, yeah, absolutely. No genres. That's a great choice.
I think it's one of the best movies ever made, and I've watched it so many times. I'm like, that's a perfect film in every way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great one. And is there a reason that you picked that one
over the first one? Like, what is your reason? Because it's a debate. Is The Godfather better than the sequel? Is the sequel better than the original? What makes that one a little bit better?
I think The Godfather 2 is so much better. A, because you have De Niro, and they introduced De Niro as, Corleone as Senior. What's his name? Marlon Brando's character. Yeah. And you have the Italian, the fluent Italian. You've got the subtitles, and you've got that rich story of how it started.
Right.
The way and the acting, I think, is for some reason so much better. I don't know what it is, but it's when they introduced De Niro as that young. It's just unbelievable.
I agree. All right, so Bonnie, that's a great one for us to go off of. Thank you again. I wanted to thank you for.
Hey, I love you guys. I love being on the show, and I'm super. You guys are awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll look forward to having you back in studio really soon.
Bonnie, we're going to wear tiaras next time.
I'm unemployed now, so have me in any time, please. I have nothing else.
We will.
Please, have me back.
Well, CBS dropped the ball. You should still be on. So we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Hi,
Tiffany.
Hi. Tiaras next time.
Okay, so guys, we are here with Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, myself, Mark Ellis, Tiffany Smith, the whole crew, and we're talking favorite movies. So let's branch off real quick on Godfather 2. Maria, Kevin, is that out of all the Godfathers? Obviously, 3 is not your choice. Is two the one?
I have to say, embarrassingly enough, I don't remember the difference between all of them right now. I remember seeing them all and loving them all.
Yeah. That's okay, though.
But I feel like
they
kind of blend right now for me. And I just said to my mouth, we got to see that again.
Have you guys ever seen the cut where it's all cut together?
Like 6
hours. They have 1, 2, and 3, but also 1 and 2 cut together in order.
Okay.
All the way through. And because to me, I can't even separate them.
Yeah.
I figure that Godfather 1 and 2 that's it.
Well, 1 and 2 is exactly right.
It's like if you're watching Breaking Bad and you say, what's your favorite episode? And you're like, well, I don't know which one it was, but it was this hard.
Although how sweet was life after
Gus got his
season 4, the final episode.
Don't spoil it for anybody.
I've never seen.
I will not spoil.
Yeah,
I know. But I will tell you,
4 was
life was perfect for me.
Yes, you could have ended. You could have ended the show.
Roll the credits.
Yeah.
I was
But what season are we on now? 6?
5. It's the second half of 5 coming up.
Second half of 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was Gus's episode,
But life was
right?
perfect for me.
See, I can't even remember it. But that was Gus's episode.
The one we did at the Lovitz Theater.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It was just it was I walked out to rainbows and just
that was bananas.
Singing.
Yeah. It's nuts. All right, so let's talk about you guys now. Your favorite movie, something you've got.
I want one hint. I think Maria gives us one. No, here's what Maria needs to give us. Give us the decade the movie was released in, and I'll get it.
Oh shit!
IMDb
app.
Oh well, if you have to look it up, then you know.
Yeah, I would have said I was going to guess Ted. I thought because I remember
in the 1930s.
The 1930s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
I got it.
We're off to see the Wizard.
Yeah, we're off to see the Wizard. Yeah.
It is
Wizard of
my
Oz.
all-time favorite movie.
It's the best. It's one of the best fantasy movies of all time.
And by the way, Bully Victims love that movie.
That was my first.
They do.
pick.
No, seriously.
You go to Oz, man.
I have a lot of gay friends who see just even seeing The Cowardly Lion with Dorothy and like Randall, our friend Randall, says that's why the gays relate to it, because when they see he cries and she helps him with his tears.
Well, Oz is also pretty glamorous too. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of good parades in Oz.
So a lot of good music.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I love it, and I remember asking my friend Randall, I'm like, why? I don't know why I love it so much, because he loved it so much, and he's like, because you're over the rainbow, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am kind of over the rainbow. I am ridiculous and think anything's possible. So
it's the truth though, because that movie, but it's what it did though. For the fact, it still holds up for as old as it is. I think it worked because that was. Did you guys see the new one?
I didn't.
Okay, now
I can't.
I don't blame you. The thing is, it's not a terrible movie. The problem is,
I heard it was pretty good.
It's okay, but the problem is the styles and it was based more off of the literature than it was the film.
The L. Frank Baum.
Yes, and the thing is that more people relate to the film at this point, especially this carried over. So there weren't a lot of tie-ins at all, and they couldn't because of legal stuff. They couldn't use it. So
yeah, the Wizard of Oz in '39, like that Oz was like natural grass, and this Oz was like AstroTurf. It just didn't have the same authenticity. But the Wizard of Oz was my first favorite movie, because when I was a little kid, that's what my parents sat me in front of to watch. And then you get into other stuff like you start watching He-Man and shit like that. But the Wizard of Oz has always been.
Is it Thanksgiving Eve? When is it traditionally played? They play. We had to see it as kids,
and my family watched it.
Back in the day, they used to show that, and they used to show what's the one with Laurel and Hardy, the one that they showed, the March of Wooden Shoulders. They used to show all the time in New York during Thanksgiving.
During the holidays.
That was one of my favorites. But anyway, so Kevin, if you had to pick now one of your favorite movies of all time, what would you go with?
You'll never guess. I don't think.
The Departed.
Can you give us the decade?
No. I have some problems with The Departed.
I love The Departed.
Music was great in The Departed, but
the Gladiator.
The scene right at the end, the animal that runs in at the end. Sorry.
Die for Gladiator.
Right. Yeah.
I would say, can I say my runner-up?
Shawshank Redemption?
Needs to get a shout. That's an awesome movie.
Great movie.
I would say for runner-up, Back to School.
Great one.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're welcome here. You're welcome
and
here.
what I love about Back to School is as great as Rodney Dangerfield, he owns that movie.
Right.
It's got maybe the best cameo appearance
Have
ever.
you ever even watched it?
Never even heard of it.
Yes.
Wait, stop. You've
Never even
heard
of
it? Back to School? Farting
Okay.
under the
Yes,
armpits?
we've been together 15 years. I've never heard that movie come out of his mouth.
You've heard of the movie.
I'm going to tell you guys.
Are you embarrassed of it?
So
Christian, fight your urge to bully Maria right now. It's not going to help.
We tried to back into Back to School by watching a nice introductory piece called Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
That was going to be like our little double feature.
That's your enabler into Back to
I watched
School.
a lot of that stuff. I watched Greek movies.
What's with the midget?
Right.
It's the Rodney Dangerfield, one of his
but
best.
we watched the first 10 minutes of Revenge of the Nerds. She looked at me, she goes, this is boring. And I was like, I just remember to shut off the DVD player.
I don't even remember it.
Good thing he was already in love with you at that point.
How great is Revenge of the Nerds?
Great comedy.
It's fantastic. Right? Lambda. It's the greatest fraternity on earth.
Well, let's do Back to School here, though. Back to School is you.
So I'd say 3 is
Revenge
Revenge of the Nerds, 2 is Back to School.
Yeah, okay. So the triple Lindy and Back to School, but again, the Sam Kinison in there, who was Rodney Dangerfield's opener for a while, then he broke that year. Sam Kinison in that role as the crazed history professor is just so funny. And the reason why more women haven't seen that movie is because every time guys get together, we try to explain to you how much we love it. We just end up quoting the movie for each other.
Yeah.
And then you guys go off and have a pillow
do.
fight wherever you guys do behind closed doors.
Do you like Rodney Dangerfield? Did you like Caddyshack?
I don't remember. You know what? I remember.
Breaking my heart here.
Wait, when I first met Kevin,
you'll get there.
We made our movie. He was like, "Here are the list of movies you need to watch," and Caddyshack was one of them. And I was a good student. And I went back to my dorm room and I watched all these movies. And Caddyshack, I was just bored.
Because my wife was too.
My
wife was too.
Because it's like it's so old.
The reaction around the studio. Look at the reactions, Maria.
It's my favorite.
How is that knee to the balls feeling?
Like I'll watch Old School all day. Give me Old School, but those are for like you guys are old. I think.
All right, no way. There are tons. You stop it.
I'm like, okay,
girl.
What? Like, feel like I'm feeling
Johnny Ice just high five Maria Menounos. You'd high five her no matter what.
Lonnie's young. She doesn't know what Caddyshack is either.
Like Wet Hot American Summer is like
unbelievable.
my one of those kind of films that I like, the dude comedy ones.
Yeah, speaking of dudes, I'd like to announce that Johnny Ice has crossed the picket line.
But the old shit now. I don't want to see all that old shit. I'll watch the Three Stooges if I want to watch something old and funny.
Yeah, Wet Hot.
Okay, it's chaos
this
here.
is like the other thing.
Let's bring the chaos from the because she's gonna get.
Look, everybody's really excited, and girls, the next time you guys have a Cosmo party, invite Johnny Ice because he's now one of them.
Exactly. Maria just basically shit all over our dreams and stories. All right, guys, we're here.
I had some help.
It's true.
It's the trifecta.
Yes, we are here with both Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. We're talking favorite movies, and we have you guys calling in talking about your favorite movies as well. Now, one of the things before we get to the contest, which we're going to do here in a second, let's talk a little bit more about Serial Buddies here. So what... If you were to talk about the movie, why that Schmoeville really should go out and check it out, like what, again, in the comedy department, what sells it to them as far as like this is a really funny comedy? Because I believe it is. I've seen the trailer. I know Hal now, and I still haven't seen it, by the way. When are we getting screened?
Download it.
No. We got to get these guys screeners.
Yes.
You know what? We should have a screening party for them at the house.
Love that.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
That's what we should do.
All right. Yes.
And then we'll bring Caddyshack. We'll watch that after the movie.
Yes. Caddyshack and Serial Buddies.
Good point.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So we want to see it. So Schmoeville is definitely going to be seeing it. They just. Comedy-wise, Hal Rudnick, what do we got?
Here's why Schmoeville will want to see it, because it's the first serial killer buddy comedy ever produced.
Yeah. And so you because when Marie was in here last time, you were really kind of excited. You were the brains behind it, saying like because you're a Dexter guy as well.
Yeah, I love Dexter.
So and that was where your brain started kind of moving there.
No, it was. I mean, I think more Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. It was before we liked Dexter too.
I think it was the fact that I remember when I was weighing what scripts to shoot. I have some micro budget scripts that I have that I know I can shoot.
Yeah.
And so we had a couple, and when we were tabling it, people were like, God, serial killers are huge right now. Look at Dexter.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's do it. But it was based on.
Right, and you met that creep.
Right. I used to work I worked in the carnival business for 10 years, so I was around nothing but sociopaths. That's it. That's the only people you would employ.
Sociopaths with really tiny hands.
Right.
Yes, small ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And one of the guys I knew, I thought I really made a connection with him because he loved movies.
Yeah.
He could quote movies, and when you work in those jobs, it's such brutal work, and it's rare that you can connect with a lot of those guys because they're either on heroin or it's just really tough, which makes the job all the harder. So then when you have so imagine if we were all working together, even if the work sucks, we'd be like, oh, and didn't you love that scene in Caddyshack? Right. And didn't you love Blues Brothers? Yeah, and high five and everything. Yeah. So I'm doing this with this guy
Thank
all
God
summer.
he saw Back to School.
Of course he did. No, he did. And he did.
Right, of course he did.
He'd seen everything.
Right. You guys bond when you see all these movies that.
Yes.
And then the end of the summer he said, okay, well, he's like, it was a really amazing meeting you, and kind of like that's it. And I said, well, yeah, well, I'll see you around. He's no. It's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, no, Friday I'm going away. And I pushed him, and he was going away for the rest of his life.
Can you say for what?
To prison.
No, you say for what?
He did. No. Maria never lets me say. I'll tell you guys off here.
She wouldn't say it last time.
Mm-hmm. Damn it. No. All won't let me say.
You got to ask you next time she goes to the restroom or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But
all right. So again, that story alone, it's crazy. I can't wait to see it. We're going to hold you up on that house.
No, we
will.
We'll have a screening party for you guys.
No, and Maria just gave me the signal that she wants you guys at her birthday party.
Oh, all right.
And I always say, if you like,
I have so much fun whenever I'm here.
Good,
I'm like, this is so great. I want to be here all night.
Oh, trust me, the fun is mobile.
Circle with the fingers.
But yes, the party's like ridiculously off the hook fun.
Good. You guys, no. Here's why you guys are going to love this
next
party.
Saturday night.
Nobody rocks high-low Hollywood like Maria. So you could have, say, over in one corner, you could have Wayne Gretzky, Mel Gibson, whatever,
Right.
and then the other corner, all the housewives.
All right.
And then maybe like Ronnie from the Jersey Shore doing
Well, you're
Sharks.
gonna have-
He's pointing at me. Why did he point at me when he said
high
that?
roll
now-
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Tiffany, you're going to be the nice.
Yeah, see, that's the wild man. That's the wild man. That's the wild man, Josh Macuga.
I'm so excited. No one is allowed to come to my party if they're going to be a wallflower
Oh, no.
or like
This
not
is
have
not-
fun.
this is
Like
not-
you get kicked out.
Yeah,
If you are standing around for more than 5 minutes, you're fucking kicked
now,
out.
wait a minute. You've been here twice.
I'm not
You've
kidding.
been
I'm not
here-
kidding.
You've been here twice. Does anybody seem like that they're going to
But
do
that's
it
why
here?
I'm inviting you guys. I've
Okay.
already tested
All right,
you
all
guys.
right,
I
here we
already
go.
can tell.
Well, we love it. We'll
no
be there.
wallflowers. Everyone's got a party, and you designated drivers and
We'll do the whole thing.
cabs.
We'll
I
do the
feel
whole thing. All
honored
right, so
now.
it's going to be
She's doing-
fun.
She's doing podcasts
right.
all over town testing people.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
if
yeah.
they- We made
We got the golden ticket. All right, guys. So, all right, now it's
'Cause
time
I've
for
got a golden
Schmoeville.
ticket.
That's right, we sure do. Schmoeville's going to play along now because now we're going to do our contest. It's free Ripped Apparel time. If you guys don't know, we're sponsored by Ripped Apparel. You go to that little widget if you're watching live here. Underneath, you have 24 hours. You get a cool shirt.
And they're only $10, but if you type in our special passcode SK Podcast, you get it for $9. How great are we? Know we know.
It's really, really great. So here's how this is going to work. So Maria has to choose between Mark Riley, Facty McFacterson, myself.
He stands up.
He's so happy he got invited.
Myself, Mark Ellis, Ken Napzok, and Josh Macuga. So here's how it's going to work. Schmoeville will call up. They will you will pick who Maria has to guess. So if you say, okay, I want Maria to guess who she thinks Ken looks like. Okay, if she gets it right, then she has to say whether or not she's interviewed that person as well. You say whether or not yes or no if she has interviewed them. Does that make sense to everybody? You understand how it works?
We got it. Yeah, she guesses a celebrity, or if in Ken's case, she guesses whatever prim Nevada blackjack dealer that she may have interviewed.
But she's got to get both right. She's got to get one right, and they have to get whether or not they interviewed or not. So let's talk. Okay, here we go. So first caller here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, what's up? It's John Matthew from New York.
Hey, John, what's up, dude? All right, John, so you got a shot to win the Ripped Apparel shirt. Here's how it's going to work. So,
wise New York.
Who do you think Maria will guess? Which celebrity person gets the most?
Wait, the actual celebrity?
Yeah, like so. As far as who we look like, okay. So you can either pick between myself, Mark Riley, Ken Napzok, Josh Macuga, or Mark Ellis. You have to guess. She will say who the person looks like.
We should have written this down.
Yeah, I know. So who do you think she will get? Like, so if you say, okay, she says Ken Napzok, I think looks like looks like Joe Pesci, and that's. And I asked Ken. I said Ken, who do you get the most? He says Joe Pesci. Then you say whether or not Maria has interviewed that person. You say yes or no. So who do you want her to guess?
I got you, Chris.
All right, so me. Now, do you think she will get? Do you think she interviewed? Do you think that she has interviewed this person?
Duh.
No, I do not think so.
You don't think she's ever? Okay. You know, just to give you a heads up, she's.
It's late. He's tired.
No, I'm not trying to dish you. I'm not trying to dish you, Maria.
No, that's okay. All right, that's your final answer. But to let you know, she interviewed Barack Obama, so the chances are she probably might have. So here,
Can
all
I
right.
keep my mind? Can I keep my mind?
You can't change your mind. That's your final answer. So,
How is Barry, by the way?
all right, so Maria, so celebrity that I get most often.
Dane Cook.
Yes, and have you interviewed the person?
Hell yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so John, you lost.
John, I tried to help you out,
Almost
John.
got it. All right. Okay.
Oh,
so that
John,
was the easy one.
The duh was right there.
Now I'm off the table. Sorry, John. Thanks for the call, dude. All right, so I am off the table now. That was the easiest one.
Well, I think the next caller that calls in, instead of reading them the PGA Tour rulebook, just have them.
Now they know.
Just have them pick somebody.
All right, that's fine. We'll figure it out. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Patrick Koch here.
All right,
This
Hoagie.
kid knows how to play.
Hoagie,
This kid can
all
ball.
right, so who do you want her to pick next?
Mark Ellis. Here we go.
Has she interviewed the person?
Absolutely, Maria.
Okay, you think she has interviewed. So, Maria, who does he get most often? Ooh, silence here.
I've been thinking about all of these
Wow.
guys.
I know. As soon as she heard
so
it.
hard.
Wow. Who does he
came
get,
right
who
over
does
to
he
me.
get most often?
You can phone a friend.
Yeah.
You can phone a friend. Kevin can play.
He's leaning in.
Wow, she's
No,
stumped.
she knows. She
Talk
knows.
to Kevin. I get Florence Griffin Joyner from time to time. I get.
I have two that are very strong.
I get
All right,
Sue
fine.
Bird.
Okay, I
Who do you
have
got?
one.
Who do you got?
I think I know you guys.
Who do you got?
Topher Grace.
Oh, all right, you got it.
And guess what? I've interviewed him.
So Patrick Hogue wins the T-shirt.
I'm here
Patrick
for you.
Hogue. All right, Hoagie, good job.
Take it.
So many people to thank. I'd like to thank my mom and dad. I'd like to thank Topher
Hoagie.
for looking like me.
Yeah, Hoagie, just hit up Facebook and we'll send you the code from Ruth Apparel.
You know, this is a true story. I ran into Topher Grace at Chipotle one time. We were right in line together, and I was like, dude, I got to take a picture with me. I do this show. And he's like, I'm sorry.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
You'll probably see him at my party. You can yell at him.
Awesome. Absolutely. That's great stuff.
He was a sweetheart. He was great.
All right, so let's
he said yes. I thought you said he said no.
No, he said I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, in
like
a couple
Topher.
weeks at Maria Menounos' birthday party, me and Topher Grace are talking to girls. We're getting numbers, ladies.
Now I want to see if she's. I want to go and say who I like. He gets Will Forte all the time. Do you do Will Forte?
Yes.
Okay.
Have I interviewed Will though? I don't know.
Oh, that would have been a good one. All right.
I don't know.
So, who do you get normally?
Yeah,
Macuga?
who do you get? You've confused me because I know you've got to get somebody.
No guess. Just tell us who do you normally get
Is
the
it a
most?
member of Journey?
Yeah.
It is. I wish it was a member of Journey. I used to get Jason Biggs a lot.
Oh, okay, Jason Biggs.
Okay.
All right, that's a tough one.
Not because he looks like me. He has sex with a lot of fruit.
And I feel like it's the personality.
Yeah. Now, if I
interviewed him.
Yeah, I have interviewed
Biggs,
Jason.
okay. Now, I definitely know you've interviewed the guy he gets for all the time. He gets Carell all the time.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. So I mean, there's one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So she interviewed every single one of us. There you go. So
and
okay.
I have interviewed Will actually too.
Okay. All right. So now, what's
the
wrong?
correct answer for me is Dan Aykroyd from Grosse Pointe Blank. So
never seen that either.
Or would you say sober Matthew Perry? Okay, that's a good one too.
Or I get Bradley Cooper from most movies.
You never get that. All right, guys. All right,
Easy, guys. Birthday party's a couple weeks away.
Really drunk girls in bars.
Before we lose Maria and Kevin, let's talk about one more movie because you guys got to take off here.
Yeah,
that sucks. All right,
unfortunately.
so we're gonna see your birthday party now and the screening. It's gonna be fun.
We're each gonna come with like 9 DVDs of comedies that you need to see.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more movie for them to go. So Macuga, why don't you stick your mug in there right now? Give us a movie that we can talk about, and we'll all go off. One of your favorite movies of all time.
I mean, if it's on TV, I'm watching Goodfellas.
Oh,
yeah, Goodfellas.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay, now let me ask you guys a question because you're huge Godfather fans, right? You don't know when one starts and one ends. They're just always it's a seamless blend of
Goodfellas,
greatness.
Godfather, and Casino, all of them are like one big thing for me.
What's the better one? Is it the best Godfather movie or is it Goodfellas? Because for me, as far as just pure entertainment, I'll sit down and I'll get more sucked into Goodfellas. But maybe that's a style of movie.
Yeah.
It's a style of movie.
It's tough.
Yeah.
See, the one movie that I can see a zillion times is Gladiator.
Oh yeah, that was on my
and Shawshank.
Very good.
Shawshank for sure.
I mean, those are like you can't. It's so hard to say just one. I can totally relate to Bonnie. It's
never
like,
seen
so
Shawshank.
Hard.
Never seen
What?
Shawshank. Not me. Mark Ellis has never seen Shawshank.
I
know.
What?
Not me.
What?
I had to throw you in the bus.
Harloff, we had a great interview. We got invited to the birthday party.
You're disinvited until you watch it.
I saw the movie. I'm
you
going.
can't come to the party unless you watch it, and I'm going to test you when you come in.
Well, how about this? You know what? Here's the thing. What we'll do is, because of that, we'll review it and say Maria Menounos challenged you to watch it. And we'll review it.
You
and send
are
it to you.
going to thank
I'll take
me.
another great prison movie, and I'll just pull The Rock and sneak into the birthday party.
Perfect. Guys, Kevin, Maria, thank you so much for joining us once again. Next time you come back, we also do another thing that we were going to have you here, but it's too late. We do a celebrity impression dating game. We all pick numbers and things out of the hat. You ask questions as if you're the Bachelorette. We do terrible impressions. You guess the winner. Eliminate. Next time you're here, you got to do it.
I love it.
All right,
you guys are great.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you for doing it.
Thanks for hanging with you guys. Great meeting you.
Guys.
Check out The Adventures of Serial Buddies. Check out the Conversations with Maria Menounos on iTunes. We're catching up to you on iTunes. We're going to catch you soon. And we'll talk to you guys very soon at the party. Thank you so much for joining us again at Schmoeville. We'll be back after the break.
Thanks, guys.
This one's for Georgie.
Bye.
Tiffany, put on the cans.
Yeah, it's for Georgie.
This one's for Georgie. Georgie's been asking us to play this one for a while, so I wanted to play this one. It's from The Devil's Own. It's one of his favorite movies. So,
Georgie actually wore out the DVD of The Devil's Own, which is something I didn't know that was physically possible, so we had to go out and buy the Blu-ray.
And that's the thing, though, too. You know, you mentioned Georgie. We mentioned our callers and tweets. You guys have become regular guests and just the things that you've done for the show. And you guys are as responsible as anybody else. And we really, really thank you for doing what you're doing. And by the way, from what you guys did, I was breaking Maria's chops about us catching her on iTunes. That's all because of you guys. So if you haven't, by the way, go on iTunes. You go to Schmoes Know Movies.
We were
on
breaking
iTunes.
chops, but we were serious.
Yeah.
Just go to iTunes, go to the Schmoes Know Movies podcast, comment and rate it.
Yeah.
You rate it, you comment it. We move up there in the rankings, and we get invited to more celebrities' birthday parties.
Yeah, it's the truth. So, guys, we're back here. It is the Schmoes Know Movies 100th podcast. And we are here talking about favorite movies. We just were joined by Maria Menounos, so it was a lot of fun. We had a blast. We've had so many great callers today. We had
got some more good ones coming up.
Yeah.
We had kind of like the past of the Schmoes Know Movies podcast. We had Katie Sackhoff call in. She dropped Alien as one of her favorite movies, and we had Great Drake called in, and she said Love Actually, which is a nice left turn. And then Katherine Reitman called in. And Katherine Reitman, I don't care what she said now, her favorite movie of all time, I'm just going to say it, is Young Guns 2.
Yeah,
great job,
it's a good one.
Miss Reitman.
So again, we had all this great stuff happen today, and Bonnie called in, and Katie called in, and we had
Bonnie called in, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we're gonna have some more people calling in, and people that will talk about favorite movies. And we'll take one more call here from Schmoville, find out one of the favorite movies we should talk about. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who should we talk to? What should we talk about?
Hello?
Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Michael?
Hey, Michael. So what movie you want us to talk about, brother? What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Boogie Nights.
Oh, Boogie Nights. How old are you?
Like 15.
All right, that's all right. He can watch that.
I like how he said...
He can sneak away.
15, which means he's actually like 12.
He said like 15, which means anywhere from 10 to 25.
Really?
Michael, how old are you really?
15.
All right.
Same exact response.
All right, so Michael's watching Boogie Nights, and again. So besides the obvious reasons, what do you like about the movie?
I don't know. It's good.
All right, fair enough.
Wait, why we got Michael on the horn? Michael,
he's clearly 15.
Yeah.
Let old Doc Ellis give you some advice, my friend.
Ellis.
I know that Boogie Nights is a great movie, but busboys never end up that successful. Okay, you never get that many chicks. You just know when you're applying for a line of work, try to aim above busboy. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So we're gonna.
I am a busboy.
Oh, nice. All right. So we're gonna hit on.
Maybe he is getting more ass than I am. I don't know.
Thanks for the call, dude. All right. Thank you for the call. Let's talk about Boogie Nights, because it's one of Paul Thomas Anderson's, for me, one of my favorites of his. I love that movie. I thought that was one of the ones that really made Mark Wahlberg prove that he had chops.
I would agree on that. I mean, I don't love the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it because of the subject?
No, I just feel. I mean. It's the same thing with Saturday Night Fever. Like I liked it, but it's not one of my favorites. But I will agree that I really think it was a film that let people know that Mark Wahlberg was not just Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch anymore.
Yeah, but you're such a big fan of porn. I thought you would love Boogie Nights.
Clearly, right?
I actually love it because it's a funny story. I didn't see Boogie Nights until recently when we were going to go see The Master. Christian's like, dude, you got to see a couple of these guys' movies before we go see The Master. Yeah. So I started watching Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, and I couldn't make it 10 minutes in, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to Boogie Nights. And Boogie Nights
the porn one.
Was so much fun. It was just such a great movie. It was a great ride. I loved it.
You felt everything that was kind of going on there, and and Burt Reynolds was incredible, by the way. I mean, everything about it.
Got nominated for that. And Mark Wahlberg, you're right, that was the movie where it's like, this guy has the chops to play in the reboot of Planet of the Apes.
I feel like where it was, you stopped calling him Marky Mark.
Yes.
Like you started calling him Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
So
the Funky Bunch, he had shed the Funky Bunch.
So there's movies that we're going to be talking about, and
the IRS is breathing down my neck like it's some kind of personal vendetta against Bobby Finstock. It's Bobby Finstock. No. It's Bobby Finstock. No. It's Bobby Finstock. No.
Oh wow. No. It's the 100th podcast.
Breathing down my neck.
You assured me this wouldn't happen.
Well, I can't promise everything. Oh no!
Like it's some kind of
Oh no!
I'm not even turning around.
Give her a hug. Give her a hug.
Tiffany, don't look
Give
down.
her a hug.
Whatever you do, girl, don't look down.
Give her a hug. It's the infamous. How could you do a show without the one, the only? It's Finstock.
Why do you always do this to me?
What I do?
What do you do it to me?
I didn't do anything.
Like,
wait a minute. Wait, hold. Shh.
The creature settles into his natural habitat.
If I don't look at him, he's not here.
Huh? Did somebody say his name 3 times?
Somebody cancel episode 101.
There you go.
Oh, Bobby Finstock.
This is it.
All right,
Is
Finstock.
he wearing something weird? I haven't even looked at him once.
For him, no.
I just got back from Cannes.
From Cannes?
Yeah, James Caan's house.
Oh, James Caan's? No, you didn't.
Where did you get that robe from?
I found it.
Scott Conn.
Wait, you stole it from Scott Conn. So you're like, it was like the bling ring.
Well, what happened was Scott Conn invited me over to his house.
Yeah. What's this? What do you got? Don't worry about what it.
Oh my gosh!
What was that? What was that?
It was a bra.
It was a lady's undergarment.
Okay. Someone's bra with them. Okay. All right. So Bobby Finstock, the fans are loving that you're showing up here. They
I appreciate it.
Now we're talking about one
Hello, Ken Napzok.
Ken Napzok is here
too. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Jake the Snake's birthday today.
It's Jake the Snake's birthday. It's true.
I did appreciate that you tweeted that out.
Now, how do you feel that he called you Knapsack?
I'll take it.
You'll take it. So now, Bobby, last week there were a couple of words thrown in your camp from Kenny. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, we share a common bond with, I think, early 80s wrestling. I shed a tear the other day because Hulk Hogan got like a really bad blister on his hand. I don't know if you guys see it.
No, I didn't see it.
It's really bad.
All right, so
That is a fact.
All right, so here's a couple facts though too. We're talking about favorite movies here. Okay. Have a lot of people call in. We have a lot of favorites. A lot of people. Bobby, and again, everything we say though too. You are crazy, and you know you're our lovable maniac. Okay. Now the thing is, you have helped. You are a part of this show. And we love having you here, so thank you so much for all your craziness. The fans as well. So fans of Schmoeville, if you enjoy what Bob Finstock does, tweet at Bob Finstock and give him a thank you.
The bra is being handed around and put on, and let's just say it's a white bra, but it's like gray because it's dirty.
Does it smell bad? All right, so
it's pretty good.
Of course, you have a dirty bra on your robe.
All right, Finstock.
I love the way you guys fight like a couple.
They do fight like a couple.
I want to know about the picture. The picture that surfaced from Mark Riley's birthday party last week. It looked like Tiffany was having a good time with you, Bobby. I don't know why she's so disgusted now, because a couple weeks ago it looked like a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, I was at the beach for 2 straight days before that, so when I go there and the sun's really good, I have such good skin quality that the sun like really it goes into my skin.
A little bit of Native American in you.
I think like she's seen like the same kind of skin quality, and she was like, you know what, Bobby just looks really good tonight. And I think I heard her say that. Actually.
Yeah, I think she did say that too.
Yeah.
So are you ready? Are you ready to talk some favorite movies? What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Boxing Helena.
No, it's not. What's one of your favorite movies?
It does a lot of it taught me a lot.
Stop for a second. What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Okay, so what is it about Purple Rain that you really, really enjoy?
Well, it's like, it's the Citizen Kane of Minneapolis movies. I think Prince was an interesting character at that point.
Just beat out Feeling Minnesota for the best Minnesota-based movie of all time.
Pretty much. I think what Prince did in that, I mean, it's like a prolonged music video, which is cool. I'm totally down with that.
Right.
And I thought Apollonia was fantastic. He got her into the water on on some kind of just weird joke. And she was
sounds like you've never seen this movie sober.
Yeah,
would that be an accurate assessment?
Honestly, my favorite movie of all time is Rocky.
Clearly. Okay, so now that's the real thing. All right, so Rocky. Let's talk about Rocky, because that obviously I know that you know about that one. Now, Rocky is such a great movie because what Rocky did, whenever there's an underdog story now, you talk about Rocky.
I like Rocky because it gave us a poster to have in the background for our reviews. That's it. Rocky is such an essential part of the Schmoes Know history. How could you not talk about that movie?
Absolutely, but I think like what you guys were saying earlier with Maria about the bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he overcame everything, every single odd in the world. And
absolutely.
I think, when you watch that kind of film, I tear up when he does the speech on the bed with Adrian. He's like, if I can go to distance with Creed, then I'm not I weren't such a bum from the neighborhood.
Don't correct his grammar.
No, that's what he says. I weren't such a bum from the neighborhood. It's actually pretty amazing stuff. I mean, I should tear every time. Absolutely. And you know what the crazy part about it is in Rocky, they didn't even want to film that scene. And Stallone's like, give me one shot to film that scene. They're like, Albertson's like, are you trying to be a badass here, bro? Right. What's the deal? And he's like, just give me one shot. Let me film it. He goes, I think it will make the movie. And in my opinion, it fucking did.
Yeah.
I got this question for Bobby because as your pockets in your bathrobe would testify to, you've loved a lot of women in your life. Now, have you ever had something like that first love scene in Rocky when it's not, I don't want to say the word date rape, but, he kind of corners Adrian a little bit.
Yeah.
He shows her the guns, and he's like, this is what you got to get past if you want to leave. Have you ever been that aggressive with the conquest?
I've gone overly aggressive. I mean, usually when I meet girls...
Are we talking like the trunk of a car?
Tiffany is getting more and more attracted to you.
I mean, he tried that at the party.
Oh, you kissed him, right?
I
did. I
tried to get him off my back.
There is footage that I haven't released on Schmo Plus.
Footage?
Yeah,
I tried to move her out of the way by her hips,
about.
and she didn't really take too kindly to it. But usually I get most of my girls in the afternoon.
No, you don't. You get them at night. But let's
talk in the Ralph's aisle, in the fruit aisle.
All right, you're okay.
Fruit aisle. I'm feeling.
I find the cucumber to be the most sensuous of all the fruits.
Okay, listen to me. Let's go back to Rocky here, because what Rocky did, it really went to a place though, because the first one was great, and we talked before about like the three movies with the three movies we talked about before.
I don't know, but let's talk about
Batman. We were talking about Batman before. So the fact that we had five Rockies, because the fifth one doesn't count. So Rocky Balboa,
5 in total.
Yeah, but he just created such an iconic American character.
Here's what he did that's incredible, is that we just reviewed all those Superman movies, or we're in the midst of doing it, is that the first Superman in 78 was great. It was fun to watch. And then the franchise got so campy. What Rocky did is it managed to kind of transition from genres. Like, it was a very serious, almost kind of gritty drama, the first one. And then the fourth one, it's a fucking music video.
True.
But it's great.
Like Purple Rain.
But you're on board for
But
it.
I think
you still love it.
Yeah.
You believe it.
Yeah.
You get one or two good speeches in every single one of the Rocky movies, and it just puts you over the edge. You know he's going to win.
Yeah.
You know he's going to be the master of his domain every single time.
Yep.
He gets the hot chick. I mean, 5, like I said, with Tommy Gunn is just ridiculous.
It doesn't exist. But Rocky's a good one. Okay, so I mean, I think that is a fantastic choice for Finstock. Finstock brought the guns too. So let's see, Ken. Now you haven't had your say in some favorite movies here. What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Well, the stock answer I've given before is Indiana Solo and the Fellowship of the Ewoks. That's just easy
Okay.
to put
All right.
together.
A good movie, man.
But most of my movies are what I'm feeling, like Katherine mentioned, like what you're feeling at that time of your life. So most of the movies, if I, at the end of the movie, feel lonely, sad, and maybe a touch suicidal, I love them. It's all about emotional, immature men.
Okay.
So High Fidelity, About a Boy,
a great
Shop
one.
Girl.
About a Boy is so good.
Yeah, and I'm a big Nick Hornby fan as an author, so I love that stuff. Last of the Mohicans, because that's where you learn the nice guys get yourself burnt on a stake so the girl can go with the hot guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the lessons I learned.
Waterfall.
Yeah.
Good waterfall
I will
scene.
find you.
Right.
And I'm in the corner going, yeah, remember me? All right, I'll die for you.
I gave that last Mohican speech to a girl at a dance, and it just doesn't work the same when it's like,
doesn't.
hey, I'm going to the bathroom, I'll be back, and I will find you.
Yeah. No.
Then it just sounds creepy.
Hey, you
But I will
live and
say,
learn.
all of my friends know. We saw it at what's the Western Museum in LA? We went and they showed it in the theater.
I'm not a
there.
museum kind of guy.
Yes, the Gene Autry Museum. They showed Gene Autry, and they showed it, and all of us walked out and we're like, "Where are the men?"
Yeah,
right here,
right here,
wearing a bra.
Yeah, they're wearing a bra.
Hey, Christian,
I don't think Daniel Day would ever do that.
Did you see the scrapbook that one of the Schmoes Know fans gave to me? I gave it to Tiffany because I have no use for it, because I already have pictures of myself, a lot of them.
Scrapbook? I haven't gotten a scrapbook.
Right there.
Oh God.
What is it? Hold on. So I'm waiting.
Oh, he brought you a present.
I'm trying to.
Finstock scrapbook made by a fan of Finstock. I think that he probably made this himself.
No, I didn't.
It says made by a fan of Finstock, Tiffany, so that would kind of...
He could be a fan of himself. Let's be honest.
I don't think that works that way, but...
Let's see what's in it.
Yeah, let's crack it open.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Body pictures. We got to get that on camera.
Shirtless photo of Finstock.
Some of those pictures are illegal in
Close
America.
up
For
of
those of
shirtless
you listening
Finstock.
at home, we have a lot of Bobby Finstock pictures. It's him and Barry. Oh, that's like tenured professor Bobby Finstock.
These are
That's
like
a good
glamour
look.
shots.
What is it?
Yeah.
That was in Harvard.
Did someone really? One of the fans made that for you?
No, he made it of himself.
No, I didn't.
kidding
Watch the
me?
first page. Why would I make this page? Why would I do that?
Let's talk about some of those.
I don't live on 101 Sexy Street. I didn't put that.
I'm trying. I'm waiting for. I'm trying for a phone call here, and it's really throwing me off here because it's.
Guys, this is like Finstock's calling card. You should put all of these on a dating website and see what happens. You'll get really crazy girls.
Some of those pictures are needed in LAPD investigations. Can we turn those over?
What is this?
All right, so again, Kenny.
Yeah.
BobFinstock.com is a dating website.
Yes.
It's only one
These
man.
are ridiculous.
Yeah, the monthly premiums are a bitch, but it is worth every penny that you will spend. While everybody's wrangling in our next phone call, I want to get to somebody else's favorite movie of all time. I want to, Josh the intern, just give me your favorite film of all time, and we'll yap about it for a little bit. Get in the mic. Favorite movie of all time, Josh the intern.
This is for some of the young reviewers out there who probably watched Dark Knight and Avengers more than some older films.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite films I saw as a young kid was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Very
Jack
good.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Danny DeVito, too.
Danny DeVito.
And a
Christopher
big fucking
Lloyd.
Indian.
And a big fucking Indian, yes.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and it's a real kind of a character study. And what's so sad about it is that as the film ends up, you end up missing that character in more ways than one that you kind of analyze. So, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, your favorite movie of all time, huh? Wow, that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is like the best movie that you would watch in school. You know, like when the teacher's like, class, I was out drinking late last night. We're going to watch a movie that's going to be good, but also a little educational. Here's the movie about the nut house. All right.
Al Pacino turned that role down.
It has one of the best endings, I think, of any film.
Well, speaking of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, we have another caller here calling in. We've been trying to get on the phone here.
Oh, God.
So now we're talking about favorite movies. We've had a lot of crazy stuff happen. You know, one of the craziest people we've ever had on the show, Bob Finstock, is sitting in studio right now, but Ken Napzok had a little bit of words last week. Now on the phone, we have Hurricane Santino.
I'm just glad they're not both here at the same time.
Oh, wow. Santino, how the hell are you, buddy?
Santino, how are you, man?
I'm really good. Where is Finstock?
Finstock is sitting here.
Front and center, buddy. When I heard you were
I'm coming for you and your beard. I'm going to rip it off and eat it, Finstock. I'm going to eat it.
That sounds serious.
Hey, Santino, when I heard you were calling, my eyes lit up like two skinheads gearing up for a hate crime.
Is this flirting? Are you guys flirting with each other right now?
This is them smelling each other out for the right to pee in a circle around Tiffany.
All right. Well, we got Hurricane Santino here. So Andrew Santino, our great buddy. But first of all, how are you, man?
I'm delicious right now. I'm pacing back and forth with anticipation. I'm licking my lips, just remembering the last time Finstock and I went at it. I want to kiss him. I want to just kiss him on his beautiful face. I want to come in there and give him a big smooch on his mouth. I want to taste his mouth.
Now, for Schmoeville, they're wondering what the hell's going on. Bob Finstock and Andrew Santino have been going at a Twitter war. It has been very interesting. The two craziest people in Schmoeville going at one another. It's literally like watching Frazier and Ali go at it. So we have you on the phone right now.
Rumble in Schmoeville.
Santino, we're very happy to have you here for the 100 show, dude. And so we again,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, and
thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Thanks for being a part of the show. And so we're talking about favorite movies here. You got a favorite movie you want to talk about?
I have a very, very awesome favorite movie I want to talk about right now.
What do you got?
Andrew, Double Impact has already been covered. I don't know if that was your movie, but I'm sorry I took it.
He sounds like he's in a room with like padded walls or something. Is that true?
I'm inside a studio. I only record from studios, Finstock. I keep this and backlog it and listen to it later.
All right. So Santino, what movie you got?
Okay, the movie right now I'd like to talk about is called Inception. I am a huge fan of Inception. It is by far one of the greatest movies of all time. I have the script right in front of me. Should I read some excerpts from it or no?
You can read one. You can read one. I was gonna. This was gonna be my pick later on. So I love this movie. So go ahead, take something quick.
So I have the script here from Inception, Christopher Nolan's shooting script. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, cage elevator, daytime. Cobb shuts the door. Adrian hits a button. The elevator rises. Through the grill, Adrian can see a beach stretching off in the distance. The elevator stops. Mal sits on the sand beside her. The two children are crouched away from us, building a sandcastle. Why do you do this to yourself? This is the only way I can still dream. Is it so important to dream? Cobb stares at his family. In my dreams, we're still together.
I feel bad for Santino's kids when they're going to get a bedtime story. It's going to be this.
You
crazy
know what?
Shit.
He's testing us. He was going to read the whole fucking script. All right, you crazy bastard. So what? Yeah, I know.
There was no emotion in
you.
there.
No, he did. He literally said, "I'm going to see how long I can read it before these fuckers cut me off."
I
know you. I know your style.
I like the ballsiness.
Yeah, he's a new age Bill Murray.
But I agree with you, though, Santino. It's one of my favorite movies. It was done so well. The score it just really sets you in that dream world. I love the Hans Zimmer stuff. I love what Nolan did. It was a great follow-up to The Dark Knight. People didn't know what the hell it was. No one knew from the trailer, and when it came out, it just delivered.
That's not your favorite movie of all time, is it?
No, it's one.
That was my sound effect.
I think Christopher Nolan really, really delivered. He dedicated the adaptation of the screenplay to Brendan James Nolan, his father. That really touches my heart because my father loved cocaine more than he loved me. So when I hear these hero stories about dedicating to your dad, I get touched in a place that I got touched by my Uncle Barry when I was 4.
You stop
and this means a lot to me.
You stop
okay?
it. All right, so Santino, we're going to look forward to having you back on the show pretty soon.
I want Santino in the studio. Andrews, congrats on all your recent success, and I want you to come in here when I'm actually in town, buddy. We're long overdue for an embrace.
Well, listen, if you stop having lower hernial surgeries, I'll be there in a moment's notice. You let me know when you need to be carted out anywhere, pal, because any day of the week, I will lug a skinny diabetic Mark Ellis over my shoulder into any given Toad Hop studio. You let me know, sweetie.
You are my emergency contact. Thank you, my friend.
Is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything else?
No, yeah. Before I go, I want to say, Finstock, great respect for you right now. I'm turning a little bit of my hatred and anger right now towards Kenny Napzok. Is he there right now?
He is
collecting boogers in a back room somewhere.
No, he's here.
I'm here, Red. Let's do it.
I agree with you, Cheeto.
I've heard through the grapevine, being the last episode, that you said I'm your new arch enemy. Finstock has been replaced, and Harloff did this as a ruse to get under your skin to bring on the ginger maniac hurricane storm. Yeah. And I want to know, what do you have to say to defend yourself against me? What do you have to say? You have something against me? Napzok, do you want to go in the ring with me? Do we need to go toe-to-toe? Do we need to get on a table and dive into some thumbtacks? Because let's do it.
Let's do it. Millennium Pro Wrestling, June 22nd. I'll be in the ring. You can come on out to Simi Valley. That's north on the 118. Let's do it. Let's get some Schmo cameras there. I got some
whatever
tables.
you want. Plug whatever you want. You'll be plugging up the wombs when I'm done with you, Napzok. You're mine. I'm going to eat you alive. I'm going to eat your babies. Finstock, I love you. We'll team up together against Napzok next week.
Wow.
If this guy,
absolutely,
and I can tell by his Men's Warehouse suits, you're not going to love it. I'm out of here. Santino, gone.
Oh, the Fins.
See you, Cheeto.
Oh, wow. So you guys, we can look at that. Right? Just like that, you guys became buddy, and poor Ken, it's Ken against the world.
We had a couple of shots last week. We smoothed things out. We obviously want to go against Napzok.
All right. So, guys, there's a lot of chaos going on.
It's like we just rubbed a bunch of andro-gel all over this podcast.
Okay, so guys, now we're back to normality. Can we actually see your real face now? Sure. Is that okay? Now we get back into the.
I'm naked under here.
No, totally. Well, no, your face. All right.
Naked, totally.
So let's talk. Let's take a call from Schmoeville, and let's get some movies here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
You got Chance from New York.
Hey, dude. So what's up, man? What movie you got for us?
Wow, I have a lot of them, but I have to say Back to the Future just changed my life entirely. I still think that cars can fly by 2015.
That's right. We are going to definitely talk about Back to the Future.
We got 2 more years for those hoverboards to come out. We're very excited. If Finstock can give Tiffany a kiss, anything can happen, my friend.
Yeah, now before you leave, because I know you listen to the podcast often, do you have a favorite memory from the 100 podcasts that we've done?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. The impression shows, like you and Mark do the impression show. It's just crazy funny.
Okay, well, thank you.
Especially when Finstock comes in, it's hilarious.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks a lot, man. All right, guys. So let's talk about Back to the Future because I mean, for me, I think that's the first one. It's one of the classic.
I don't think anybody's coming to bat being like, "Nah, 2's the best." Like,
besides Rocky, I was going to say Back to the Future. It's very close. I think it's a flawless film.
Such a great blend of genre. You get action, sci-fi, comedy, and there's so many great parts of that movie. But for me, I get chills every time Michael J. Fox is on stage at the Enchantment of the Sea dance, and he rips into Johnny B. Good. Let's do something that really cooks, and it just gets me.
And he's like, "Chuck, it's your brother Marvin."
Marvin.
It's just so good.
It's one of those movies that you just
quotable.
When you watch it, it's like everything worked. It just like it's when they say magic in the movies, it's Back to the Future. It really is.
I met Zemeckis not too long ago, and he came in for a meeting at one of the places I was working at, and he left a half a turkey sandwich. And I told him Back to the Future was the best thing I've ever seen. He was like, "Oh, thanks a lot." And I was like, "Can I have the rest of that sandwich?" And he said, "Sure."
How much of that's true?
0.
I didn't talk to him, but I ate a sandwich.
Fine. That's a good half. All right. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Yo, it's Naveed.
The great producer. Now, Naveed McElargy is here with us as well. Again, Naveed, so we're at 100 episodes. Pretty crazy. Tits-hua.
I know. Congratulations. Tell Finstock to get off Tiff.
Yeah, exactly. Tits-hua. So, hey, Naveed, so we talking favorite movies here. You're a guy who knows your movies. What movie would you like us to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Do you want to go with my art house pick or the real one?
Do both. What do you got for the art house?
My art house pick from film school is probably 400 Blows, the French film, which is really cheesy to say.
Okay.
And then
you just became a lot more mysterious.
I have to go with Godfather.
The first one. You like that better than the sequel?
Bonnie called in with the second one, so you like the first one better than the second one?
I like the first one only because of its originality at the time.
Right. Okay. I mean, yeah, because again, the way that Coppola did that film, it was like nothing a lot of people had ever seen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Naveed,
and by the way, will never be replicated again. Ever.
No, you cannot. Not that way. Film's just not made that way, and directors aren't given that much freedom. Some are, but not that way. There's too much money involved in studios now, I think.
Yeah. Casting Pacino at the time was an unknown.
Right.
A new director,
right.
Spending that much money, they would never do it again.
Right. So that's a great one. And then we were talking. We were just talking about Back to the Future before you called in as well.
I love Back to the Future.
Yeah, I mean it's
amazing how that movie still holds up,
isn't it? I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It's a great time travel movie when you don't walk out of the theater questioning, wait, how would that work with that? It's just you just walk out happy.
You don't try and make it realistic in any way.
Right.
Well, you know what? Back to the Future is so good. It's like it had really no CGI, and right now, if they did Back to the Future, it'd be full of CGI, and it'd probably be a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
so good.
Well, that's why
it's so realistic.
Yeah, and there's no way that you should ever redo. You shouldn't do it.
No, that's
again.
one of them.
Yeah,
that and Team.
Caden's favorite movie is Pacific Rim. He's sitting here next to me watching you.
He's been to the future.
Have you been to the future?
Yeah, so that's great. No. All right, Naveed, well, dude, I wanted to thank you, dude, for calling in, for being on the show, and we can't wait to have you back.
I just want to say congratulations.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. And hey, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's the Gina Carano thing coming along?
Good. Yeah, I was at the premiere last week. Did I tell you?
No, and is she going to come on the show?
Yeah. She sounds like she wants to. She was still wrapping up promoting it.
Did you hear that, Alice? So we might get Gina Carano
I blocked
on the
it
show?
out for I don't want to get too excited in that region.
Naveed
right now.
said he talked to Gina Carano at the premiere of Fast.
I heard it.
Okay.
I was making it funny.
Oh,
That's what we do on the show.
No, by the way, now that I talked to her, she was flirting with me the whole night.
You're lying. Not dating Superman.
You were flirting with her to try and
get out of here,
you
creep. You got kids with you. All right, so Naveed McElargy trying to get us Gina Carano. That'll be a lot of fun.
He can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
He's got great hair.
He does. Rambo 3 here. All right, so we are, guys, it is a lot of fun here. It is a Schmoes Know Podcast 100th episode, and we're talking favorite movies.
We're 100.
Yeah, I want to talk to Schmoville.
Voice.
Let's talk to Schmoville. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Yes, I'm calling Schmoville. Hello?
Yeah, who do we got?
Am I through? Did I get through?
Is this high pitch hair?
I don't know. This is a great voice. You know what?
It's a fantastic voice.
No,
I just looked around to make sure that Mark Riley was not calling in as his mother.
It does sound like him a little bit.
So we got. Sorry, someone here that really it's Riley's mom, I think. But is this Mrs. Riley?
Yes. Oh. Hello, Christian. How are you?
I'm good, Mrs. Riley. I'm glad that you remembered me, Mrs. Riley. So we're talking about favorite movies here. What movie did you like us to talk about tonight?
Oh goodness gracious heavens to me. I love them. Is Mark Ellis there, by the way?
He is.
Hi.
Mark, I just want to say hello, and I want to tell you what you're doing is fantastic. You'll make it someday in comedy. I promise you'll make it. You just keep up at it, okay, sweetheart? You're beautiful. And listen, if Skeletor can get on, so can you, Mark.
I've never had a woman have that much confidence in me, so thank you.
Is this your nemesis?
Well, I wanted to thank you very much, Mrs. Riley.
I don't know who that is.
I want my film, The Money Pit with Tom Hanks.
Good one.
The movie I'd like to do. I love this film. Do you know this film?
I do know this film. This is with the great Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, who later went into drama and had some success.
Shelley Long, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Shelley Long, Richard Benjamin did it. And, oh, God, did they do a wonderful job. It was about turmoil and a trying time when you buy your first home and there were no black people, which is fantastic.
Stop it. Mrs. Riley. All right, got to let you go there now. That's unbelievable. Mrs. Riley, you stop it.
Joe Mantegna was in it. He owns a shop in Burbank called Taste of Chicago. Bad food.
Mrs. Riley, you got to put the rum down.
Was in it along with Yakov Smirnoff, who was a comedian, and Brian Backer. You know all of them, right
now?
It's time to go, crazy Andrew Santino.
That's why our 100th episode, man. That was
again.
That's why we don't do 3 hours a lot. It's a long time.
That was Santino.
Yeah, I realized.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back. We're back. That was insane. That's Kenny. How do you feel now about that call?
That's great. That's great. Yeah, wonderful.
I thought I didn't like him before.
Was that
Joe Santino. All right, so we're back. We're back.
I guess it was your nemesis.
Absolutely craziness around the world. Let's take a real phone call now from Schmoeville. Get a real movie that we can talk about. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Raul from Boston.
Hey, dude. So we're talking favorite movies. What do you got?
Well, for me, it's different eras. Since like just growing up, animated for me, it has to be The Iron Giant.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
What's it
for indie? I'll admit it, I'm a dude, but one of my favorite movies ever, 500 Days of Summer.
500 Days of Summer is a great movie by Mark Webb. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Movie breaks my heart, but it's a really good movie.
It's a true love story.
No, it's a reversal of fortune. It's like where the girl gets the best of the guy, which never really happens.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really good movie.
Not in my book, anyway.
Well, Finstock, if you don't, I'm gonna move you out of the chair for a second, and I want to bring in the artist formerly known as Shoesy Pants.
Oh, cool.
I want to bring him in there because this is Joe's last show with us. So I want to talk to Joe about his favorite movie.
He's clearing his throat.
All right, I'll just say a couple of things about Finstock. The Bob Finstock Initiative. We just finished a couple episodes coming out shortly. I'm on Movie Buff tomorrow.
Okay.
With Georgie and them.
Oh, yeah, the two movie buffs.
Yeah.
Okay,
a couple of things
All
on there, and the pendulum has swung in Bob Finstock's favor.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
And thanks to that bathrobe, we see that the pendulum is swinging. So
I'm obviously naked on
this. Let's get Joe in here. Let's talk to Joe. So, guys, we have the whole crew here that we're ready to we've been talking to about it, and Joe has been with us now for a long time. And so, Joe, put the cans on there.
Are these safe?
Yeah, they're safe. So first,
I got one creeper, now another one.
Be nice. This is his last show.
He makes me look good.
He does, actually. He does.
Yeah. So this is his last show. Now the question I have for you is what was one of your favorite moments on the show?
I gotta say, doing the Battlestar Galactica trivia with Kenny against. Katie my close personal friend, Katie Sackhoff.
She doesn't even know who you are.
Tiffany Smith,
right?
Where we were robbed again. I will.
Arrow of Apollo. Yeah. I'll remember for the rest of my days. I said it.
Get that right.
That was a good one.
Really
okay. And you got any other ones? Don't worry
whatever the hell's going on back there. Well, and actually, I will give him some credit because his first appearance was actually my first time on the show too.
You guys are blood brothers, you and Finstock.
Oh, yeah, so that was fun. And of course, the first time I met my beloved Tiffany Smith.
Yeah, Tiffany Smith. And you're getting rid of one creep. You picked up a ton of other ones. So, all right. So, Joe, let's talk about. First of all, and you can make sure you check out Joe on schmoesknow.com. He's been writing a lot of good stuff.
Do it.
See, she does like me.
Yeah, Joe. Let's
don't hate you.
Come on, stop. Let's talk about one of your favorite movies
close
here.
Enough. I almost selfishly want to make you guys talk about the original 1954 Japanese monster movie classic Godzilla.
It's a good one.
But I'm guessing I'm the only one who cares about that one. So I'll.
No, man.
No, God, no. That's not
loves
Godzilla.
and all the monsters he went on to fight in his long and distinguished career. Mechagodzilla,
the
Mothra,
rest of his life.
King Kong.
That's true. And I'm going to be covering all of them on schmoesknow.com between now and next summer when the new one gets released. So
very nice.
Be sure to check that out. But I'll go a little more mainstream for the kids.
Okay.
My favorite comedy of all time, Blazing Saddles.
Great one. Okay.
Well
love to me some Blazing Saddles.
It's a great bar argument. What's the funniest Mel Brooks movie of all time?
I would go around the campfire.
I'd go Young Frankenstein or Spaceballs. But Blazing Saddles is right up there.
Yeah,
right up there.
It's a great one.
Yeah,
Tiffany, you ever see
that
that
campfire scene is amazing.
And you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I go Spaceballs over.
Okay, Spaceballs is pretty great. All right, so now let's shift. First of all, before we do that, because we got to go to break here, Ken.
You have about 3.
About 3 minutes. All right. So, Joe, again, thank you so much for everything that you've done for the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you can follow Joe at JOERUG23.
There's no G.
Man. No G?
Just
Joe. Oh, sorry. Just
Joe
oops. JOERUG.
Joe Rude.
You gotta understand these writers. They live and die by letters.
Sorry, you're right.
True.
You're absolutely right. So
there is no G.
Follow him on schmoesknow.com.
He's getting really red right now.
Yeah,
that just happens.
Thank you again. Really appreciate everything. A round of applause for the man formerly known as Shoesy Pants.
That's right. Shoesy.
The artist.
He's retired.
All right. So JTI has been in there already. Ken's been in there already. Riley have been there already. So let's talk real quick about. Let's talk about Tiffany.
Do I have to go?
Have you? Yeah, let's scoot you out of there for a second because I want to.
Go write something, kid.
We got 3 minutes.
I will.
left.
It'll be great.
Because I want to talk to Tiffany real quick about a favorite movie, and then when we get back, we got Jeremy Johns calling in. And he's going to talk about one of his favorite movies.
He's going to try and get me to follow him on Twitter. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you got to hold out. Jeremy Johns will be calling in, but let's talk about Tiffany. One of your favorite movies. What do you got?
So Maria actually took my all-time favorite. I would have said Wizard of Oz. That was the first film I remember seeing that like changed my life and view of films. But then obviously I have to say Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And choosing one, The Fellowship of the Ring is my ultimate favorite.
Right.
Of the 3. It's like I just remember seeing that film after reading the book so many times and seeing it for the first time on the big screen and seeing what Peter Jackson did and all of the actors that got cast. And my mind was just blown. And I just remember feeling like this is how you do a good translation from a book to a film.
I agree. And I think, again, going back to what we said about Back to the Future, it's just one of those things where everything just worked.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was great seeing all 3 of them. And you go with the second one, right?
The first.
I'm sorry, the first one.
The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, it's tough for me to pick a favorite one because like we were talking about The Godfather earlier, all 3 of those just kind of meld together into one really great, long, long, but great movie.
Yeah, which, I mean, I would pick all 3 if you can do that. Extended edition, one sitting.
That's cheating.
All right,
that's why I said I picked the first one.
You must pick one film.
And I guess one of my favorite moments, too, by the way, that we did when we did our Lord of the Rings podcast. And that was one of our earlier shows with Tiffany. It was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Before we go, we got a caller in Schmoeville. We want to talk. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Laren.
Hey, Laren. So what movie do you got for us, man?
Have you guys talked about Jaws yet?
We did talk about Jaws.
But we haven't talked about Jaws in 3D.
And we won't. Yeah. What's another one you got for us?
Have you guys seen Blood Simple?
Blood Symbol?
Blood Simple.
No, have you seen it, Ken?
Coen Brothers movie.
Oh no, the Coen Brothers movie. Okay, no, I have not seen that one. Ken, have you seen it?
No, I don't see movies.
Oh, you don't see movies. Okay, you know you're on a movies podcast, right?
He doesn't see movies unless it's a bunch of wrestlers.
All right, so we need to see that then, is what you're saying?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Cool Hand Luke. Have you talked about Cool Hand Luke?
No, we didn't talk about Cool Hand Luke. That's a great one. Absolutely. Those are 2 great. Well, the first one I'll go check out. Cool Hand Luke, absolutely great.
And luckily, your connection with this man was not a failure to communicate. Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Real nice.
See you guys next week.
All right, before we let you go, man. So, question for you: how long have you been listening to the podcast?
I'd say about 6 or 7 months now.
Okay, so do you have a favorite moment before we go to break here?
Wow, I don't know.
We blindsided you, man.
We blindsided you. We've been taking for 100 episodes going over all the favorite moments from the show. And you know what? Tweet us in then. And I want to actually know from Schmoes Know, from the rest of Schmoeville here, what are some of your favorite moments in the podcast history? And what we're going to do after the break, I'm going to have a quiz about the podcast to give away one more rip shirt.
Oh, a test. That's always fun.
So if you don't know your shit from the Schmoes Know podcast, I wouldn't call in.
I love quizzes.
Yeah. So, dude, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
guys.
you so much, man. All right, so we'll be back. It's Tiffany Smith, Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, Ken Napzok. The whole crew will be back right after the break. Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckmann calling in. Going to be a lot of fun. Who knows
That's ominous.
Yeah, but what movie it's from? It's one of my dad's favorite movies of all time.
I didn't know your father was going to be a part of this quiz that we're having.
My dad's always a part of this podcast. It's for Platoon, one of the greatest war movies of all time.
Yeah, I give you that. That's really good.
One of the best. Oliver Stone, one of his best too. All right, guys. So it's the Schmoes Know Podcast, episode 100.
100. We are moving we're very, very spry for a 100-year-old.
It's true. So we're going to be having some. We have a couple more calls coming in, and I totally forgot. We have Erin Darling from Clever Movies, because she's going to be calling in too. We can't wait to speak to her too. She came in, kicked ass, celebrity impression contest as well. She was really good on that one. So we're going to be talking to her about favorite movies. We've talked about some really great ones. There's some that we haven't touched on. No one's taken one of the ones I want to talk about yet.
I got a couple that still have not been taken off the board, so I'm very excited.
I still got a couple on there.
Yeah.
Well, let's
took all the Lord of the Rings.
Overboard. In the meantime, let's talk about one. Then you know what? I'll give one of mine now.
Cat's out of the bag.
Well, I'll give one of mine. You know what I'm going to say here, because Inception was already taken. We talked about Rocky.
Yeah.
That one.
What's it going to be?
Actually, is this?
I bet it involves blue face paint.
It does not involve blue-face paint.
Oh, it doesn't? No naked Scottish asses?
Braveheart is absolutely one of my favorites, but I'm not gonna. But I'm not. I'm not gonna talk about Braveheart right now because I think someone else will talk about it. I want to talk about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I love Eternal.
I've seen that one.
It's such a great movie. That's one of those movies that I can watch over and over and over again. It's just. There's just something about that movie that it's beautiful. And Michel Gondry, the way that he shot that, and Jim Carrey's best performance, bar none.
And Kate Winslet, my second favorite dyed red hair of all time after Great Drake, obviously.
I feel like also, too, it was one of those films where you saw the trailer and you were like, what the heck am I about to see?
What is Ace Ventura doing in this,
and
dramatic...
then you go in and you're just like... so enthralled the entire time.
For me, that movie works on several levels. It's a great kind of like almost drama and action adventure in a way, that weird chasing through the brains, but also it's such a great relationship movie, and that ending is one of my favorite ending to any kind of romantic movie because it's so realistic.
Well, you know how you watch Back to the Future 2 and you're like, man, I can't wait until Mattel invents the hoverboard. You watch that movie and you're like, I can't wait until they invent that memory eraser thing. Just gets that chick out of my head.
Just that one little part.
Yeah.
I think we have our guest here. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, this is Alan from Georgia calling in.
Hey man, so what's one of your favorite movies? What do you got?
Well, I was going to say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because you guys made me watch that when you did your best worst list.
Ah, yeah.
But I'd have to say Empire because that's one of the best movies ever made.
Ah, okay. You got to go that. All right, thank you.
Star Wars has been opened.
Got to talk about. Thank you for the call, man. We got to talk. We're trying to get one of our callers here, but for some reason there's problems here. But
the lines are flooded. That's a good problem.
We're talking about Empire Strikes Back right now. Let's talk about Empire. I mean, it's for me my favorite of the Star Wars trilogy for sure.
I go back and forth with it. It's not my favorite. As of right now, when I was a little kid, Empire was my go-to, and I would always fall asleep during the Yoda scene. It was like the best dream you ever had, just dreaming about being in Dagobah, learning how to be a Jedi Knight. Luckily, that ended up coming true.
That's funny because it's usually the reverse. Usually Jedi's your favorite as a kid, because Ewoks, and then you get older and you're like, oh, the depth and the storytelling.
So you're saying I'm wrong. Thank you very much, Ken.
No, I'm just saying it's interesting to peek inside your brain. Have the meds worn off yet?
No, they have not. Not anytime soon. Tiff, Empire?
I would say it's my favorite.
Empire.
Yeah, which is, surprising because normally I go with the first.
The Phantom Menace? Yeah.
Yes.
Jar Jarring up in this
jerk.
bitch.
Kenny Napzok.
I mean, it's just, for me...
Starting the fighting before the draft. I see how it is.
Everything was just done really, really well in that movie, and the way that it was the darkness, and it was you learned the most about the Force. You learned everything about you learned more about Luke, and it's the reveal. It's the reveal. Come on.
I'm still, you know what? As it stands today, my favorite movie of all time is always going to be a Star Wars movie, and it just alternates depending on the day or the year. As of right now, it is Return of the Jedi. It's my favorite film of all time. I
feel like it's so interesting too when you ask people favorite films. It really does depend on the mood you're in, the day it is, what's going on, when you saw it, who you saw it with. I'm like, there's so much that affects how you view a film.
But it is one of those. There's never a day that goes by where you're like,
don't want to see it.
I'm more in even a good movie. I'm more in a Tango and Cash kind of mood. No, you're always in one of the Star Wars moods.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, let's try to take another call here from Schmoeville talking favorite movies, 323-622-8623. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Joseph from Australia.
Joseph from Australia.
Hi.
Australia calls. All right, man. So what do you got? What's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Well, The Lunatic from Before Stole Inception. So I'll go for my second favorite.
Okay.
I was with a movie that has so much emotional impact, so much emotional depth, great storytelling. Forrest Gump. It's my second favorite.
Great.
What was that for, Tiffany?
You know that this is one of my least favorite films.
Wow.
We've talked about this.
All right, Joe, we're gonna.
I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry, Joe. We're gonna tear her apart for you. So, all right. So, thank you, man. Thanks for the call.
These Australians don't mess around.
No, that's one of the greatest movies of all time.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, I know.
We've talked about this.
You hated Tom Hanks, and then you met him, and now you like him.
I don't hate anybody. I just
you hate Anne Hathaway.
For that film though, I have a hard time when none of the characters are likable.
Forrest Gump isn't likable?
No.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I I just don't enjoy that film.
Okay, so you will kiss Bobby Finstock at a bar, but you see a guy with below an 80 IQ, and you're like, yeah, you can mow my lawn, idiot. Wow, Tiffany Smith.
I just said, for whatever reason, that
this
film
is why we don't go past the 2-hour mark. It's because the demons come out. When you have a couple Imperials, all of a sudden Tiffany Smith doesn't like simple people.
You guys know this. We've talked about this before.
Well, I will never offer you a chocolate on a buzz bench again. I'll tell you that much.
Please
Forrest
don't.
Gump, you know why Forrest Gump is great? Because the term family film gets shit on because it's a family movie, meaning it's for kids. Forrest Gump is actually a family movie where my whole family went to go see that, and everybody walked out loving it, and that's very rare in the Ellis clan.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, you have that score by Alan Silvestri, the way the movie's set up. I mean, I do think that...
But do you like a lot of the characters?
Yeah, I do. His mom...
Gump.
Captain Dan is a guy who's going through so much shit in his life and comes back around.
Maybe it's really the love story that I don't like her.
Right.
The one problem with Forrest Gump is that Forrest was named for the Ku Klux Klan founder, Forrest, and it's like his mom did that. Right. But yet we like his mom and we feel bad when she dies, but she named the fucking guy after the Klan leader. So
yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the movie, but again, it was so relevant to the society and shit that we went through in American culture.
Please don't swear, all right? You don't need to fucking drop F-bombs.
I fucking apologize. But now we're going to move to our next caller here. This is a guy that we are super excited to have on the show because he's been on the show so many times. He's been through all stages of the show, from before we were at Toad Hop, after a Toad Hop, on the phone, in studio. He is our buddy, YouTube movie reviewer, Jeremy Johns.
Yo!
Jeremy, what's up, man? Jeremy, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing? Happy 100.
Thanks, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you've done for the show, and we're really happy to have you on this episode.
And on a personal note, Jeremy, thank you for everything you've done for me at California Pizza Kitchen. You have opened my eyes to the best dish on the menu there, and I can never repay you.
What is it?
Jeremy and I go to see...
is always waiting for us every time I'm there.
See? Jeremy knows two things when he comes to L.A. He gets to hang out on Ellis's famous red couch, and we get to go to CPK, where we have the Sedona tortilla soup and the Chipotle chicken pizza.
Date night.
I know. Wow. Jeremy, you want to come into town and watch rom-coms?
Wow. I maxed out that Pac-Man DX game. I maxed it out.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait to take you on in Pac-Man. But let's get back to movies for a second. We're talking favorite movies of all time, and then also you've been on the podcast a number of times, helping us get to 100. Do you have a favorite moment on the podcast? I know a lot of people have a favorite moment involving you on the podcast, but maybe that's not your favorite moment.
I wouldn't be too proud of that moment because I am shit when it comes to distinguishing voices. So I wouldn't hail that as the greatest moment of all time.
Jeremy, you got punked, my boy. You got punked.
It's hard to say.
Is this the Sackhoff call?
It's one of those things where every time I'm on, I envy your hangout vibe you have there. But if I had to pick one moment, it would be when we were doing the You Reviewers podcast, and we're all there.
Yeah, the Avengers.
And then Tiffany herself called up, and she talked to me.
Aww.
And that was the first time I heard the angelic chorus that was her voice directed in my general direction. Yeah, depends on the fact that she was offended the fact that I called her hot chick. Sure, but I still heard it. It still happened.
See, that's what Jeremy does well, though. Jeremy knows unlike Finstock, where he bombards you with insanity. Jeremy will come in and he throws some nice sweetness at you. So maybe give the guy a shot next time.
I mean,
Stop being so mean.
I'm not being mean.
All right.
I just told him, I was like, oh, I didn't know I wasn't following you yet. We haven't met yet.
Oh, all right. Well,
that's all.
All right, that's right. You guys haven't met. That's true. So, Jeremy, you're going to be back.
You'll be back. Because every time I'm in the podcast, Harloff's like, Tiffany, just go away. Just go away for a couple hours.
He wouldn't do that. He doesn't protect me from anyone.
Going to be in the studio, so you just got to leave.
Well, that's actually we've done that to him before. It took him a while before he actually got to meet Katie, and then we kept setting him up, and then she was never there, and then finally
there was the prank call.
Yeah, but then we set it up to where he came in and was Sean. There's a pretty good moment too, dude, with you, Katie Sackhoff, and Sean Astin.
Yeah. That was a really fun podcast too. What were you talking? There were a few. That was a good day.
Yeah.
But I got to say, having Katie say "stuck my face" in total shock is probably a good moment for me. That was really funny.
All right, you creep. Let's move on to what we're talking about here today. And I know you definitely have something to say about favorite movies. We've talked about a shit ton. What do you got for us today? What movie you want to talk about?
You know what the best part is? I was like, well, clearly everyone knows my favorite movie. is Lord of the Rings, and no one said that yet until they did.
Yeah,
and I'm not afraid, and which is cool.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I got my fallback though. No one said Empire Strikes Back yet. And then someone did.
Yeah.
When you were saying, all right, I'm going to touch on this one movie of mine. It's my favorite movie. I literally was pointing at my screen. I was like, don't say Empire. Don't say Empire.
Right.
Don't say Empire. And you were like, Eternal Sunshine. I was like, yes. And someone called in. He's like, by the way, Empire. And then that was that. I got nothing. I literally.
You got nothing?
I mean, there are no other movies out there.
There's no other movies?
Nothing.
Nothing? You've reviewed all these movies. You don't have one for us? Come on, man.
You know what? The Lion King.
The Lion King's that's a great movie.
Oh, that is
it. It is the best single animation ever made by the mind of man.
Yeah, Jeremy not only makes a great point, but that movie is a gut punch if you're not prepared for it. Because we saw the re-release when it came back out in theaters. We went to Disney and saw the screening in 3D, and I'm excited. That you get Timon and Pumbaa, you get the songs, and then all of a sudden there's a couple real emotional points. And if you're not ready for it, it's like, oh my God, I need Kleenex.
Scar is such a good villain.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
Such a good villain.
So good. And, yeah, man. And here's a question though too for you, is because we when we have Pandora, we have the Disney ones, and that song with the hyenas always comes on. It's still a little bit scary.
Be prepared for the chance of a lifetime.
How old?
I guess I just sang.
Yes, and people got very excited over that. How old do you think your kid needs to be in order to watch The Lion King? Because there's some scary shit going down with that movie.
I think that your kid should be prepared for metaphorical Nazism at a young age. So I think, the sooner the better.
Yeah, all right, maybe tomorrow.
That is.
I saw that movie when I was like 11.
Yeah,
and I was perfectly fine with it. In fact, I love that song. I have the soundtrack. I know all the words to that song because I listen to it literally every night.
It's a great movie.
11 is apparently fine because I turned out okay in life.
And it's not necessarily that scene so much as the stuff with his dad. I mean...
Yeah, the father-son relationship, and then the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" If that song hits at a wedding, I mean, I'll be on the dance floor later, but I need to excuse myself and just have a moment outside.
That's true.
Yeah, that is one of the ones, man.
That's true. All right, well, Jeremy,
it's like the Titanic song.
Jeremy, dude, again, we really thank you for everything that you've done for the show, and again, we've done so many collaborations with you on YouTube as well. When are you coming back to LA?
When do I get to meet you?
You know what's funny? I swear to God on this, and my hand to the Lord, if I didn't have an obligation tonight that I actually already promised someone I would help them out with something, I would have flown down there without you knowing to crash the 100th episode.
That would have been cool. Well, that would have been cool. Maybe you can do it for the 200th.
Yeah, well, no, it's got to be sooner than that.
Yeah,
next time Tiffany's there, I'll be there.
All right. Well, she's gonna be here every week. So you have to come in again. We'll have you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, August maybe you might come down, right?
Yeah. It's usually the end of summer. We have our end of summer beers and parties stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be good.
All right, Jeremy, you're the man. Thank you so much, dude. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, guys. So that's Jeremy.
Prior obligation.
What's that?
Jeremy probably knew that I was having hernia surgery this week. He's like, I'm not staying with Els when he's going through that shit. I'll come back when Els is healthy. He doesn't want to
take care of you.
Yeah, it's the truth. There's a lot of...
He's a good dude. He's always fun to hang out with.
I'm impressed that he went with a Disney animated.
Well, let's go.
It's a great movie.
We're going to have another call from another buddy of ours coming in here in a second. But before we do that, let's talk about another animation that no one's talked about, and the Toy Story movie. Someone tweeted it in about the Toy Story trilogy. Great Pixar movies. Great initial one that really got the computer animation off the ground, I think.
Yeah, and I'll say that Toy Story I love. Toy Story 3 blew me away that you can do something that new and original and fresh and stay within the confines of a franchise. Yeah. When the kid goes off to college and he's leaving his toys behind, it gets you. And then you walk out of the theater and you have a couple minutes to digest what you just did, that you're a grown man weeping about toys getting left behind when you're fucking 18 and you're like, I should probably see a therapist. But in the moment, and Ned Beatty as the evil, cute, fucking purple bear. I mean, come on, that was a great villain.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that purple bear is all because the way that they mixed that up and said, "Oh, look at the sweet bear," and he's just a bastard.
Well, and I think everyone has been through that, where it's like you don't want to grow up, but you have to grow up. And do you want to put the things that you love in a box? Not really.
Right. Actually, contrary to that point is that you never have to grow up is Josh Macuga, and he's sitting right there.
Yeah, hey, no problem. A good buddy of mine is Ned Beatty's son.
Really?
And I saw Ned Beatty at my buddy's baby shower, and the first thing I said to him, I was like,
Just so you know, I cried at the end of Toy Story 3. He's like, "You're a bum."
Ned Beatty said that's awesome. Okay,
Ned
so
Beatty's great.
We've taken so many calls from so many friends of the show, and we just talked to Jeremy Johns, who's a good buddy of ours, and we've done a lot of collaborations with, and somebody that, again, another friend of the show and a friend of ours on YouTube that we're actually doing collaborations with right now. And if you go to our YouTube channel and his YouTube channel, we're doing the Superman movies from 1, 2, 3, 4, Superman Returns, and the Superman cartoon with Doomsday. We're talking about our buddy, fellow YouTube movie reviewer, Chris Stuckmann. How are you, bud?
Hey, guys, I'm doing pretty good. How's everyone in the show doing? I'm sorry I haven't got a chance to listen tonight. I've been very busy, but I'm assuming 100 show is going very well.
Chris is reading from a prepared statement.
Chris, before we get Chris's favorite movie, I got a little bone to pick with Chris, because in the background of these Superman reviews that we have, don't think, Stuckmann, that I don't see that Nintendo hanging out in the corner. And next time you're in LA, you got to bring that thing, and we're going to have a contest to see who can beat Super Mario Brothers quicker. Is that cool?
That's fine, man. And yes, that's meant to be seen. I'm glad you noticed it.
It's great, and it looks pristine. It's the most crisp Nintendo 8-bit console I've ever seen. So congratulations on having it in 2013.
All right, Chris. So what we've been doing tonight, we've had all people from. It's our 100th episode, so we've been having all people from the show, people from the past, kind of coming in, call in. We had Maria Menounos in here talking favorite movies of all time. We've had tons and tons of movies, but one of the things too, I know that you listen to the podcast quite often. Do you have a favorite moment of the podcast over the 100 episodes that we've done that sticks out to you?
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be kind of narcissistic, but I just got a kick the first time I got to call in, and you had Shotgun Honeymoon on.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time I got to call in on your podcast. And,
yeah, we did the scores and soundtracks.
It made me feel special. It made me feel like I was important because of it. Well, your guys' podcast is a lot of fun, and I do listen to it quite often.
Well, thank you, man.
Probably the best. One of the funniest things is probably when you prank Jeremy Johns.
That's funny because we just had him on the horn, and I brought that up to him, and of course that wasn't his favorite moment. What Jeremy actually said was his favorite moment when all you guys were out here for the Reviewers Awards, and then you guys all came in. We actually had everybody in the studio on the mics, and it's like you guys just blended in, and it just made for a really good, because you always worry about how chemistry is going to work in the room on the podcast, and it ended up, it was just like, it was like we were kissing cousins. Does that make any sense? What are kissing? I've never known what that means.
What?
The Percocets kicking in.
That's okay. But let's, Chris. Okay, so we've talked about a shit ton of our favorite movies. I have a pretty good idea of what you're going to say for your favorite movie, but I haven't. No, and I don't think anyone's talked about it yet. I could be wrong. What you're going to talk about? What is your favorite movie? One of your favorite movies.
Cyborg has been taken.
Yeah, Cyborg is off the board. What is your favorite movie?
Shit.
Yeah, and you can't say Piranha 3DD. So other than that,
can I say Cyborg 2 starring Angelina Jolie?
That's the one that was taken.
Dang it.
No, okay, Chris. So let's your favorite. One of your favorites.
I do not have a number one.
No, you don't. That doesn't need a number one. Just one of your favorites of all time.
Well, if I were to pick the movie that probably influenced me the most as a child, I would have to say the original Star Wars.
Oh wow, the original Star Wars. Okay,
right.
We talked about Empire,
and we talked about Jedi.
I see. I'm shocked. I thought, and we talked about because Star Wars we'll talk about, but I thought you were going to say Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, we haven't even talked.
Here's the deal: Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars film for sure. But the original one was the one as a kid that inspired me the most.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark as a teenager inspired me quite a bit because I didn't get to watch. I watched them when I was a kid, but I was like, oh, those were fun, but I just didn't get it. Like I didn't realize how great they were, the originals, until I was older. So I mean, yeah, basically, George Lucas in the 70s and 80s was my childhood.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. So we're going to I got to talk about Raiders, though, a little bit, though, too. Just the movie in general, what made that so great was the fact, and I know, Chris, how much you love Raiders, so you're the perfect person to talk to about this. It's that serial feel that, Lucas always talked about, and before he kind of lost touch with filmmaking, like what he and Spielberg did back then, it was that magic again.
Let's talk about the year 1981.
Yeah.
It's because you had the three biggest guys in Hollywood at that time. You had Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas. They could do no wrong. And the fact that they kind of came together in this, kind of super group format and just crushed this movie so far out of the park. It's a testament to how great those guys were in their prime.
Absolutely good.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta say, the way they made that movie so dirty, so unkempt. Like the whole movie is just so strung together, like shots with you can see dirt like flying into the camera lens. You can even see like the costume design. Like they didn't really worry about like wiping the dirt off of the actor's face. And the entire last half of the movie, Harrison Ford's just covered in dirt basically, and it just felt so realistic the way they shot that movie. And that's one of the things Spielberg said was he was like, I just want to make this movie. I want to make it really cheaply, but make it look expensive.
Right.
And that's what they did. They basically did the equivalent of a couple friends making a movie in their backyard if they had a budget.
Yeah, and you can tell that's a great point because you can tell that they all had so much more fun back then than a lot of people have today. Like it was that like Raiders was just again we went to see it recently and how much fun that movie was.
It's one of my favorites of all time. I think the makeup team quit halfway through. When the makeup team figured out, hey, we're going to the desert, no, we're not going. We're not.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Chris, again, dude, I wanted to thank you so much for being a part of the show, and then we have to have you back on calling in for a we'll figure out which show, but pretty soon because you're always a great guest. You have a lot to say, so thank you very much. Check out Chris on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Stuckmann,
and check out our Superman collabs that we're doing ongoing right now. It's on our channel and on Chris's channel. We're reviewing all the Superman movies leading up to Man of Steel.
Absolutely. So, Chris, thank you so much, man.
No problem. I just wanted to say congratulations on the success on your podcast.
Thank you very much. Okay, Chris Stuckmann, another good guy.
Number 100.
Yeah, number 100. All right, so now we're almost done here. We've talked about a lot of great movies. So now we're going to do our trivia question. Trivia. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask members of Schmoeville. You call up 323-622-8623, and we'll ask 5 questions. See if they get 3 out of 5, then they win the shirt. How does that work?
We'll do it. As you're getting your first phone call, I'll give a quick shout out to our guest who tried to call in, Erin Darling. Could not call in. She's a great follow on Twitter, Erin A. Darling. Her favorite movie of all time?
What?
Pop culture junkie, troublemaker. She picked Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
She picked Wizard of Oz.